amateur football league action between the visiting Central Texas Tornadoes and the Capital City Bison. Right now we're going to have the national anthem. Hold on one second. It's in progress. Welcome back. We're having some technical difficulty with the camera. We will cover the game by audio until we get the camera set up appropriately. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Right now the teams are meeting at the 50 yards on both sidelines. Your Capital City Bison are wearing white jerseys with maroon numbers. They have maroon pants striped with white stripes. The visiting Dragons will be wearing green jerseys with gold numbers and black pants. The Capital City Bison will be receiving the opening kickoff, and they'll be receiving the kickoff from the north end of the stadium. Kicking off for the Dragons is going to be number 24, David Owen. Back deep to receive for Capital City, we have number 28, Drake Williams, and number 20, Tanique Hall. So, Dragons ready to kick off. Number 24 again, Evans, kicking for the Dragons. Toe to leather, and we are underway. Your Bisons are 2-0 coming into tonight's game. 0 with the return. He's got 25-30. Up over the 30 to the 33 where he's tripped up. And that is Tanique Hall on the return. He's tackled by number 16 of the Dragons. And that is going to be Cameron Muldrew. Joining me tonight is Kelly DeVoll. Kelly, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Chuck. How are you? It's good to be here tonight.
A little stressed over trying to figure out the camera situation. We had a laptop go bad on us, and we've got a backup laptop on it, and we're just trying to get the source loaded so that the camera will broadcast the stream here. We're going audio only at the moment, and I apologize for any inconvenience. If you're tuning in, at least we can listen to the game. Now the Bison come out in a shotgun formation, two backs either side of the quarterback. There's a snap, handoff goes to number 5 straight ahead, and he's tripped up in the backfield after a short game. That's Alvin Smith on the carry. Can't really see that number on the tackler. Looked like that was the linebacker, though, number 20 for the Dragons on the stop, and that's John Martinez. No gain on the play. He's going to bring up second down, ball at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Chuck, the left guard and the left tackle pulled to try to open up a hole to the right side, but there was good backside pursuit from the defense on that side, able to bring him down for no gain.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10, shotgun formation. Carrasquillo, the quarterback, in shotgun. He drops the snap, but was able to pick it up off the turf and hand it to the running back, number 5, Smith, for a minimal gain off the left guard. The ball's going to stay marked at the 35, so no gain, 3rd down and 10 for the Bison.
Tough break there, dropping that snap. He tried to turn and make the handoff before he got his hands wrapped around the football. It goes back to the basics that they start teaching in Pop Warner. A little bit of nerves maybe starting off the night.
So it'll be 3rd down now. Bison starting off a little slowly here offensively. Let's see if they get something going here on 3rd down. And they get the Dragons to jump off sides there. Looked like the whole left side of the line jumping off sides.
Good hard count, and the defensive line bought it, and the whole line jumped.
And the referee crew tonight, if you'll mention those guys, Kelly.
Yeah, I sure will. We were going to do that earlier. Our referee for the night is Donald Carr. Our umpire tonight is Joe Nannis. Head linesman is Ron Randall. Line judge is Brian Emerson. And our back judge is Tony Miller. We appreciate those guys.
So it'll bring up, after the 5 yards is marked off, the ball be at the 40-yard line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down still. Much more manageable 3rd down for your Bison. Alexi Carrasquillo in the shotgun formation. Going to struggle with Alexi's name probably a little bit tonight. Actually, it's not Alexi at quarterback. We have number 12 in, and his pass is incomplete.
That is Alexi.
Oh, it was Alexi.
Yeah.
And it was intended for number 8, Dante Garner, or Donto Garner, and it's incomplete on the ground. It's going to bring up 4th down. We'll see what the Bison decide to do here on their own side of the field.
Looks like they had a holding call against the Bison. I'm not sure which lineman they called that on, but it's going to back them up. It's going to be 3rd and 15 after that penalty.
So it's going to, after the penalty, it's going to be 3rd down now. Ball back at the 30-yard line, and they'll be going for it here. Swing pass into the flat, complete to number 8, Garner, and he's able to shake a tackler or two, get up over the 30, close to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a yard shy of that at the 34. It'll be 4th down for the Bison, and they'll send out the punting unit. Yeah, kind of hard getting the offense going here in that first series, Kelly.
Yeah, it was the same issue last week, and the Bison really leaned heavy on their defense, which is a stout defense, and I think is really the strength of this Bison team. So the defense has been able to hold the opposing offenses and let the offense get cranking. And once they get cranking, they really seem to get into a groove and move the ball real well, put a lot of yards up, put a lot of points up.
Well, Denzel Crump, the punter, in number 10 to punt back deep. Oh, check that. It's number 40 in to punt, rather. That's Cade Sumner's back deep to receive. I think we're going to have number 38, Jareth Martinez, for the Dragons. We have a stoppage on the field. Got another penalty there, Kelly?
No, I'm not sure what they're doing. They're resetting the ball for some reason, but waving off the flag. The Dragons are wearing dark green jerseys and black pants, and they've got gold numbers outlined in white, and it's hard to see those numbers even from this distance. Number 32 back for the Dragons.
They tend to bunch up, too, in those jerseys. The punt's real high. Hits on the sideline here on the press box side. It's going to go out of bounds right around the 36. We'll see where they mark it. And they are. They're going to mark it right at the 36-yard line for the Dragons, and they'll have their first series here coming up shortly. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're having a little technical difficulty with our camera feed, and we're working on that now as we try to bring you the game via audio at the very least. And again, we apologize. You're listening to Bison football, Capital City Bison football here on SHN Sports. One quick mention for the sponsors of the Bison. They include 24-Hour Fitness. All Central Texas locations, go to 24hourfitness.com. Shotgun formation here on first down for the Dragons. There is 11:27 here on the clock left in the first period. Handoff goes straight ahead. Nothing doing there as the defensive line plugs all of the gaps. Big number 97 there on the stop for the Bison. That is
Amaris Hill.
Amaris Hill.
that's the only word you can use to describe him, because that's exactly the word I was going to use. He is a big guy anchoring that defensive line at the nose, number 97.
Yeah, they tried to double him, and he didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Second down for the Dragons. Ball's marked at the 36-yard line here. They're going to give him, I guess they gave him a little bit of, well, no, that's the original line of scrimmage. There's second down. Bison quarterback drops back. He's flushed out of the pocket, rolls to his left. There's pressure. He keeps working his way to the sideline. He's dropped for a loss of about 6 yards at the 30. Number 98, Jonathan Luna there on the stop. Going to give him a sack on that one. Back to the 30-yard line. And it'll bring up third down and long for the Dragons.
Great pressure from all over that defensive line, and they did a good job of containing him so he couldn't bounce it outside and make something happen out there. So it was a big loss for the Dragons. Three guys had shot at him in the backfield, but they kept him strung out. So it was a good job by the Bison defense.
Yeah, as soon as the ball was snapped, Lafayette, the quarterback, was running for his life there. Third down, he's in his shotgun here. Looking over the defense. 10-14 and counting here in the first period. There's the snap. He drops back. There's pressure right up the middle. Forces him out to the right. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, picks up 1 or 2 yards, dropped by number 42, Demetrius Morales. It'll bring up fourth down and about 7 for the Dragons.
He got flushed out of the backfield. Good coverage by the Bison secondary, because he had no place to throw the ball. He had to tuck it and run, and we really see on this first possession by the Dragons that strength of that Bison defense. Just no time at all for their quarterback to do anything.
So it's fourth down. Now the punting unit comes out for the Dragons. Fourth down. There's the snap. Pressure from the Bisons, and the ball's fielded at the 20 by number 28. He's up over the 30, and he's spun out of bounds. Kind of tackled a little bit far out of bounds. That's Williams on the return.
Kind of surprised there wasn't a flag on that, because that contact kept on out of bounds, but referees didn't see it like that from down there on the field. So we're starting 1st and 10 at the 36.
Hopefully you're getting the video feed that we have been able to pull up here. 1st and 10. Alexi in a shotgun formation. Smith in the backfield with him, brings a receiver in motion. They hand off to Smith straight ahead, and he bounces off a couple of tacklers and gets back to the line of scrimmage, where he's tackled by number 20, and that is John Martinez. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 here. And again, we apologize for the scoreboard not being there, but we didn't have video previously, so we'll keep you updated on the scoreboard and the clock. Right now we're scoreless with 6:42 remaining in the first period. It is a shotgun formation, 2nd down and 10 for Alexi Carrasquillo and the rest of the Bison. He drops back, grabs the shotgun, looks to pass, and the pocket collapses, and he's swarmed under by a whole group of dragons. Not sure what you call a group of dragons, but maybe we'll call them a coven because it's a magical thing. But they're led by number 22 there, Jonas Torres. And so it'll bring up 3rd and long for the Bison. And again, in a bit of a backed-up situation here on 3rd down, Kelly.
Yeah, the first couple of downs that they had on this drive, Chuck, they were able to move the ball, and they really concentrated on that, running the ball on the left side of that line. But on that last play, the Dragons were able to get penetration right up the middle and keep that play from turning into anything at all because the quarterback just had to swallow the ball.
You know, it's one of the hardest things to do is to get an offensive line to work together, and you need those guys to continue to play together to gel and mesh. And, you know, when you have guys coming in and off of the roster, sometimes that can affect play. And so here we go. It's timeout. The teams are huddled on the sideline.
Yeah, Chuck, we got to remember these guys haven't been playing together all that long, so working on gelling.
Yeah, we're week 3. They're 2-0. That's week 3 of the season. How many preseason practices do you think they had? They had 1 preseason practice. So here we go. 3rd down. 5:44 remaining here in the first period. Alexi takes the snap, looks to his right, flips over to the left, has a receiver open, big number 17, DeLandian Driver, and it hit him in his left hand and bounced onto the ground uncaught. And so it'll bring up 4th down for the Bison, and they'll bring out the punting unit again for the 2nd time tonight. And we may have a defensive battle here, Kelly.
It was a good throw, a little high. That's one your receivers got to bring in, get both those hands up. He tried to hit it with his left hand. Looked like it got there before he was expecting it to be there, but it was there when he made his break into the route into the middle of the field. He just wasn't able to haul it in, and that would have been a big gain.
Yeah, he had a lot of green in front of him. If he was able to get that and tuck it away, he'd been going for a while. The punter drops the punt snap, and as he scoops it up, his knee's on the ground. There is a flag down, though, and it could be offsides against the Dragons, and that's what the Bison are hoping for here.
Yeah, the referee stopped the play before the punter had control of the ball, so I don't know if they called an offsides or a false start.
We'll see here. They're discussing it right now. Looks like it may go against the Bison, which will result in the ball being turned over to the Dragons in pretty good field position plus territory. We'll see how good the Bison defense is here as they have their back a little bit against the wall here early in, mid-first quarter.
Yeah, they do. And we want to let our viewers know, if this is the first time you're watching the Bison or the Dragons, that they're using the NCAA football rules for this league. So it's not going to be the pro rules that we're going after, which are not radically different, but there are some differences to that. So we'll mention those as we see them throughout the game.
Real quick, we'll mention the sponsors. It's 24-Hour Fitness. You can go to 24-Hour Fitness and sign up at 24hourfitness.com. Also, Big Frog Custom T-Shirt Company. The Round Rock location is at 2501 Gaddis School Road in Round Rock. You can go to www.bigfrog.com and get you a custom T-shirt from Big Frog Custom T-Shirt Company. Also included in the list of sponsors of Bison football are Cotton Patch Cafe at 1700 East Palm Valley Boulevard, Suite 580 in Round Rock. Cairo 512 at 2681 Gaddis School Road, Suite 220 in Round Rock. They're at Cairo512.com. And then Moments Enshrined Photography. You can find them at momentsenshrined.com.
Folks, if you get an opportunity, please, please, please visit these sponsors because they are the reason these broadcasts are able to come to you, SHN Sports here in Central Texas. So please swing by and visit our sponsors and show them some love for helping us out with these broadcasts.
So it looks like they were going to assess an offsides penalty on the Dragons, which will bring up 4th down. Ball is line of scrimmage has been moved to the 28, where it'll be 4th down again.
I think they called a false start.
False start before the snap. That's why the ball moved backwards, of course.
Because if it had been a penalty against the Bison after the snap, I feel quite certain that the Dragons would have taken the ball where it was.
Certainly.
The referee blew the whistle dead, so that's what before the punter got control of the ball, so that's what made me think it was a –
Well, and Summers has trouble with the snap again, and it gets blocked as he gets it off of his foot, and it goes out of bounds right around the 26-yard line, so not much of a net difference there. In fact, the Dragons gained a yard there on that 4th down. So we're back to where we were prior to the penalty being assessed, where we thought that the Bison defense is going to have to bow its neck here and show what they're worth here, as the Dragons have it in plus territory at the 26 with 5:32 remaining, 1st and 10. Quarterback in a shotgun formation. Takes the snap, looks to his right, flips it over into the flat, picks up about 3 yards. I didn't get a number on that back, but he's tackled right away by number 8, Dante Garner. It's going to be 2nd down now. They're going to say no, well, gain of 2. They're going to give him 2 yards on that. The box didn't move. So 5:07 remaining, 2nd down and 8 for the Dragons.
Good pursuit out there and a good solid tackle out on the edge, because if that tackle's not made, he's got at least a 1st down, if not a score.
Depending on his speed, he could go down the sideline pretty quickly. Lafayette in a shotgun formation for the Dragons. Takes the snap, hands off to the running back off right guard, and he's dropped in the backfield for a loss of 1 by number 98. Big 98 for the Bison on the stop. That's Jonathan Luna on the tackle. Is going to bring up 3rd down. Running back was number 38, Jareth Martinez. Minimal gain. So the Bison doing their job defensively here, forcing a 3rd and pretty long here. Dragons are going to have to find some kind of answer here if they want to try to take advantage of this field position.
The left side of that Bison defensive line is enormous. Those guys are huge.
That's the way you like them. Lafayette flushed out by that defensive line. He rolls to his left. Pass is almost intercepted. Number 20 there, Rav Hall, just knocks it. Check that as 28. Drake Williams there defensively for the Bison, but it'll bring up 4th down as he knocks that pass down and ensures no one catches it.
Yeah, Alex Thompson and Drake Williams were the only 2 that had shots at that ball at all. I don't know what the quarterback was seeing whenever he was flushed out of the pocket, but wasn't a very good pass, and the only people that had shots at it were the 2 Bison defenders back there.
He's seeing a blur of purple and white coming at him, so he's ready to get rid of the ball. 4th down and 9 now for the Dragons here as they go for it here, and why not? If you don't have a field goal kicker, they can convert that. Lafayette in the pocket, and he's sacked for a loss of about 5 by number 49. That's Meshach on the tackle. Not of the Shadrach and Abednego fame, but Meshach nonetheless on the tackle there, and the ball will turn over to the Bison on that sack. 1st and 10 at their own 30.
Boy, the defense did a really good job of shutting that drive down, because the Dragons had excellent field position. It's got to be frustrating for the Dragons, but we see the strength of this Bison team on that defense. They've got size up front, speed on the line, speed in the backfield, so they're able to keep those receivers in check. And they did a really good job of shutting down that drive and keeping the Dragons off the board.
Well, just defense is so important at every level, and if you watch this year's Super Bowl, you know how important defense is. 1st down, handoff from Alexi to number 5, Alvin Smith. He picks up about 5 yards, and you see that offensive line starting to wear down a little bit on the defensive line of the Dragons, and we'll see if they're able to muster a drive here in their 3rd possession.
Well, and Alvin did a good job of getting off of that tackle, because there was one guy that got penetration into the backfield, almost stopped it for a loss, but Alvin shook and was able to have a good gain.
Alexi drops back on third down, has a guy open on a deep slant, but throws it a little bit out in front of him. Denzel Crump was the intended receiver, and he unable to get his arms out far enough and catch it. You might want to lay out for that one because it was out there in front of him a little bit.
Yeah, the quarterback is not that tall, but he's got a pretty good arm on him, and the balls are getting there a little bit quicker. The lights in the stadium aren't very bright, so they may have some problems locating the football as it's coming to them. But that's the lack of a catch that drives Coach crazy.
Third down now and 6. Alexi in a shotgun formation, takes the snap, hands off to Smith going left to right, breaks some tackles. Ball's on the ground. There's also a flag down right at the pile where Smith was tackled. And so the whistle has been blown, and they'll sort out what exactly happened. That tends to be kind of a face mask where they threw the flag, although it could be a potential hold. And so we'll have to wait and see what the referee crew has for us here. And it is going to go against the Dragons, a personal foul face mask. Just like I thought, generally when they're a big pile there, it's usually a hand to the face or something like that gets called.
Yeah, coming from that back judge especially, like that's a huge penalty because that ball came out. Number 44 for the Dragons was able to get onto it. Alvin did a good job of breaking tackles and making at least a little something out of nothing, but the ball squirted out. The Dragons recovered, but it's all irrelevant with the penalty.
And I'll put it at midfield, first down and 10 for the Bison. Alexi Carrasquillo throwing down the right, down the right hash and almost intercepted by the Dragons. Looks like that's either number 7 or number 1 that came across that. That's going to be Carlin Lineberry missing an opportunity for an interception there for the Dragons.
That's why he's on defense. That's why he's a DB.
That's what happens. And, occasionally you'll see a defensive back who can catch, and then you'll notice they generally put those guys on offense occasionally when they show that they can catch the ball. They're certainly always fast guys. Second down now at midfield for the Bison. Shotgun formation for Alexi Carrasquillo, and he has Smith in the backfield just to his right. He takes the snap and hands to Smith, who runs straight ahead behind left guard and picks up about 7 yards to the 44-yard line, where it's going to be third down now and about 4 yards. So they're going to give him 6 on that gain.
Albert Sanchez, number 75, the center, pushed that nose tackle right back up the field between the hash marks.
And the same play called again, and the Dragons there this time quickly to trip up Smith in the backfield. And it looks like that's going to be number 68 for the Dragons, or 66 rather, Richard Streeter on the stop. So it'll bring up fourth down now for the Bison. They have it in plus territory, so it looks like they're going to go for it here. And the way their defense played that last series, why not?
Yeah, on that previous play, 66 got pushed back on the snap of the ball. He brought both his feet up and together and got him in close, and the center was able to push him off, but that time he moved him and was able to get in the backfield and make the play.
So it's going to bring up fourth down now for the Bison. Alexi Carrasquillo takes the snap, drops back, throws down the left sideline, overthrows the intended receiver, and that's number 0, Chris Evans. It's going to be incomplete, and so the ball will turn over to the Dragons. But, again, Bison confident in the play of their defense, took a shot there because the way your defense is playing, if they continue to play like that all night, all you need is one score to get a win.
Chuck, if the offensive line can start giving the quarterback a little bit of time, I think they'll start getting into a rhythm, and I think that's what's missing right now. You see a little bit of different – you see a lot of speed on the Dragons' defense as well, but the Bison have really hurt themselves. They've had open receivers and haven't been able to convert. So if they can start making those passes, then this will turn into an entirely different game.
So it's 1st and 10 now here for the Dragons. Lafayette, the quarterback, in a shotgun. Looking over the defense, barks out his cadence, takes the snap, hands off to the running back who's tackled right at the line of scrimmage. There, big number 97 for the Bison on the stop. That is that's going to be Amaris Amarius Hill.
We've got one of the coaches up here in the box, thank goodness.
He's helping us out, yeah, most definitely. He's going to be second down, no gain on that play. Great job by Hill to plug the middle. And that is a huge defensive line that the Bison have marched out there in their three-man front here. Second down and 10. Lafayette looks over the defense and comes up to the line of scrimmage, gets under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, flips it out into the flat. It passes complete for a first down. We have a flag down behind the play, though, near midfield, and we'll see what the call is.
Yeah, I think somebody was dragging one of the dragging one of the Bison defenders, so I think we're going to get a hold.
As Jareth Martinez was the receiver on that.
Eligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, that'll get you. And if they're running an RPO offense, which a lot of teams do these days, it can get you in trouble because your offensive line, no matter what, is running a run block scheme. And if the quarterback doesn't get the pass out of his hands fast enough, one of those linemen inevitably is going to be called for being downfield illegally.
Yeah, we've got 1:03 left in this quarter. There hadn't been a whole lot of offense, but in that circumstance, since we're playing NCAA rules, the linemen have to stay within 3 yards of the ball versus 5 in pro football. So that's not a lot of room for mistakes by the offensive line down the field with that RPO.
It's not, and that's why timing is so important. Second down and 12, ball at the 44-yard line for the Dragons. Lafayette takes the snap, rolls to his left, pressure, and he's dropped for a big sack. Number 6, Jamaris Martin on the sack. So Martin adds to the sack total. That's was that the 4th one tonight or 5th one?
4th, I believe.
4th. And so the Bison collecting sacks tonight and putting the Dragons in just unmanageable down and distance situations. Here we're looking at third down. Ball's at the 33-yard lines for the Dragons, and they have about 24 yards for a conversion. There's about 20 seconds and counting here in the first period. They may not even get this play off. Lafayette does get the snap off. He hands off to the running back coming through, and he's lit up right around the 35-yard line. Number 24 bringing the wood there, Dakar Williams. And it'll bring up 4th down for the Dragons, and that'll be the end of the first period. And we're scoreless, but there's a lot of big hits going on out there tonight, Kelly.
Yeah, Big 97 got a hand on the running back and slowed him up just long enough for 24 to come up and just lay the wood.
So Hill held him up a little bit and set him up for his teammate, number 24, and that is Dakar Williams. And so we'll go to the Decker Williams, rather. We'll go to the second half. Let's mention the sponsors real quick, Kelly. Top sponsor for Bison football is 24-Hour Fitness. All Central Texas locations. You can sign up by going to 24hourfitness.com. And that's a quick flip of the field position. Then I'm not wasting much time on the sideline with coaching here. And the Dragons are on the line of scrimmage here, and they line up with their punt team. Back deep to receive for the Bison is number 28, Drake Williams. Special teams can help out, and there's a snap over the punter's head, and the Bison special teams are there to make the sack. It looked like they were coming in for a punt block anyway, and the snap goes over the punter's head, and there quickly number 8, Dante Garner, along with number 42, Demetrius Morales, and it will be Bison football here, first down and 10.
Special teams is such an underrated portion of this game. And several years ago, a good friend of mine's son was recruited and is playing at Alabama as a long snapper. And you see their value right there, hitting that punter right in the chest with that snap.
LaDucier's played for the Cowboys for about 15 years. You can make quite a career at deep snapping.
Yeah.
Del Hellestrade did it for 18 years for the Cowboys.
Yep.
Alexi Carrasquillo hands off to number 5, going right to left, and he picks up about 9 yards. Alvin Smith close to a first down. He can pick up a first down here inside the 5 by gaining the 3. And it looks like they've got it marked at around the 4-yard line here, so it'll be second down and about 1.5 yards, long 1 yard for a first down. But, of course, they're going for 6 here, and the way the defense is playing, that could be all they need. But you want to pad it.
Good, patient run there. He waited for his blocks to open up and got a lane to run off right off that center's hip.
So Carskio hands to Smith. He finds a gap between the center and right guard, and he's in for the score. Touchdown Bison. They're on the board here with 14-14 remaining in the first half. We have a 6-0 lead.
He went to that same running lane looking for that same path open, and big center pushed his guy off the ball. Guard was able to move his guy. Good running plays right there to gain that short yardage they needed for the touchdown. Good. That's what the Bison needed to get going.
And it's conversion time now, and it looks like the Bison are going to go for the traditional 1-point kick here. The kicker's name is John. He's a new addition to the roster. He's wearing number 23. Kick is up and good.
Had good field position earlier and couldn't do anything with it because of the defense. So, again, decent starting position for the Dragons on this drive. We'll see if they can start making some changes to their offense and see what they can pull up.
1st and 10 here for the Dragons.
4th and 4. Well, now they're saying it's 3rd down.
Well, they tell them to wait until they make the call. And that's regardless if the play counts, it's going to move to the next down. I didn't see a flag go down. All I saw was the ball get popped out and then out of bounds. And so I think they're just trying to decide where to mark the ball. Where was he down? Right. Was he down before he fumbled? Very difficult to see there because it was on the opposite sideline from where we are on the Stony Point High School sideline, if you're familiar with the stadium. And the referees, the crew's going to make sure they get it right. This is important in this game especially. It's only 6-0 here, and there hasn't been a whole lot of offense. And so looks like there is going to be a penalty that was called, and it's going to be a face mask called against the Bison, and that's a 15-yard penalty. It'll put it in Bison territory for the Dragons. And, of course, they'll have a first down after that personal foul at the 44-yard line of Capital City. And so that'll help your offense.
That will. And that face mask must have been on the tackle over on the sideline where we couldn't see it. But, boy, that's a devastating penalty to have right there when you can get your defense off the field.
We'll see if the Bison can do anything about it and stop it here. It's 1st and 10 now for Lafayette. Ball at the 44. He's in a pistol formation. Martinez behind him. 3 receivers to the right and 1 split out over here to the left near the press box. They hand off to Martinez. He never really got the handoff, and it's recovered by the Bison defensive line. Who's coming up with that football? Number 89. Number 85, rather. Clayton Jones gets a fumble recovery, and so that's 4 sacks and a fumble recovery for that defensive line of the Bison, and that'll stop any progression offensively the Dragons had, and it'll also make up for that face mask penalty that was called just a couple of plays ago against the defense. 1st and 10 now for Capital City here, and they have it on their own 45-yard line.
This Dragon defense is going to start getting tired if they can't stay off the field longer.
That'll kill you if you have to stay on the field too long. Carrasquillo takes the snap, has a receiver in the flat. Alvin Smith, he flips it out way too far ahead of him. Smith is fast, but he's like, I'm not that fast. 2nd down and 10 here now for the Bison. Smith gets a little coaching there on the sideline. Bison huddle up. 12:06 on the clock. Your score is 7-0. Capital City ahead of the Central Texas Dragons. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation. Takes the snap, hands off to the running back. He's in the open field at the 45-40 of the Dragons. All the way down to the 37-yard line goes number 5, Alvin Smith. Nice blocking on that left side of the line. Big hole over there.
That line did a good job of opening the hole for the running back. And you can't keep your defense off the field if you're the Dragons. They're going to get tired. That run game just starts wearing on them. So the Bison may stick with that run game a little more and just go heavy on the run.
Yeah, a run-heavy offense with a good defense, that's a good formula for winning football games. Bison seem to have that at least here tonight. First down, Carrasquillo hands off to Smith, going right to left. He picks up about 10 yards off a left tackle, tripped up right near the first down marker. They're going to give him enough for the first down. Nope, they're going to say he's about a half yard shy. Second down and about a half yard, ball at the 29-yard line for the Bison.
Good patient runner. It's fun to watch him run because he waits for his blocks to develop, and then he's got the quickness to hit those holes just as soon as they come open, and the Dragons having a hard time keeping up with him. Now they're biting off big chunks at a time.
Yep. Carrasquillo in a shotgun, a little shortened shotgun formation. Takes the snap. Doesn't really get it, and he has to cover it up on the ground. Loses about 4 yards on that. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 now. They're going to move the ball back to the 33.5, 34-yard line, 34.
Yeah, they go from about a half a yard needed for the first down. Now it's 3rd and 5, and that changes what you're going to be able to do on your offense.
Yeah, it's still a manageable down and distance, especially given you're likely have 2 downs to convert here on the first down. Although you may want to test your new kicker here as well if you don't convert on 3rd down. 10-19 and counting here, 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Ball at the 34-yard line of the Dragons. Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation, and it's going to get backed up as number 84 for the Bison jumps off sides. That's Desmond Hill. Got to get that snap count.
Ahmad Parks had come in for Alvin Smith. Give Smith a little breather, and as soon as the receiver jumped off sides, boy, he just sunk his head.
Oh, you don't want to get –
no.
You got to get that carry in.
Yeah.
You know, they were likely going to be running it there on 3rd and 5 the way the Dragon defense seems to be a little warm. But here at 3rd and 11, you're probably going to try to throw here. But, again, you have 2 downs to convert, so they may try to pick up 5 or 6 on the ground and see what they do on 4th. Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation. There's 1 running back in the backfield with him, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. He's going to air it out down the right sideline. Passes intended for number 17 and falls just incomplete. The Landian driver was the intended receiver, and he had his hand on it.
Number 1 for the Dragons got in there and pulled that ball. He had his
Poked
hands,
it out.
Yeah, had his hands on the ball. It was a good play back there to get that ball out of his hands. Obvious size advantage for the Bison on that one, but number 1 for the Dragons did a good job of being able to punch that ball out and keep it from being complete.
Yeah, they were going for that fade route, and obviously good hands there for the Dragon receiver, but he couldn't hang on. As you mentioned, it was poked away by the defender. 4th down now and 11 here for the Bison, and they're going to try to convert. They're not going to try to kick a long field goal here, so shotgun formation for Carrasquillo. Looks over the defense, takes the snap. There's some pressure up the middle. He gets good protection, rolls out to his right. There's a flag in the backfield, and he's going to keep it. He's got it to 30, cuts up there, and carries it for a first down, but there's a flag.
Alexi is about to be hugely disappointed because he had a great run. Got enough yardage for the first down, but obvious hold there in the middle.
And that's almost entirely always going to be a hold when it's flag thrown from that particular referee at that particular place on the field, and that's exactly the call. And so it's going to be 4th and about 21 now at the 49-yard line, and so we'll see what the Bison decide to do here, whether or not they want to go for it again. They got to get 20 yards to keep the drive alive, so looks like they are going to go for it, though, as Carrasquillo stays in. And after, some problems with their punting unit, why not?
That's
the defense is playing great, And special teams has helped them get a lead here. You don't want to give the opponent that same advantage.
I wonder if this quarterback has a squib kick in his arsenal.
Well, hopefully most quarterbacks do, but we'll see what the call is. They may be just going to throw another one of those fade routes, and Carrasquillo does drop back. He's going to throw it down the left sideline. Incomplete as he's way ahead of the receiver and defender by about 8 yards. Pass intended for number 0. That's Chris Evans. And so we're going to have a turnover on downs there on the incompletion with 8:48 remaining here in the second period. It's 7-0. Bison on top of the Dragons. And so they'll have it for their, I believe this is their 5th possession here in the first half, and haven't been very successful. The only first down they had was on a 15-yard penalty by the Bison with a face mask penalty. So we'll see what the Dragon offense has here on this series. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Lafayette, the quarterback, in a shotgun. Martinez, the running back. Lafayette looking to throw down the right sideline. Pass is intercepted as he just aired it out, and the defender trips on the return at about the 35-yard line. That's number 29, Justin Doherty, and he's going to run all the way back just in case they didn't call him down. But it will be Bison football on their end of the field at the 39, and so one play, and they get the ball right back.
Yeah, it was good interception. You have the defensive back staying back where he's supposed to be, and
yeah, that's a pretty easy catch. You know, you talk about defenders not having great hands. When the pass is that easily thrown to you, you better catch it no matter what.
That looked like a little warm-up drill catch before the game gets started when they're out on the field.
That's the kind of throw and catch you play with your child who's in single digits in age, you know.
Yeah, you drop that one. You just stay over on that side of the field because you're going to listen to it from your own guys if you drop that one.
Those are push-ups on most teams. You drop a pass like that.
Right. Folks, if you get the opportunity, come on out to Stony Point High School in Round Rock. It's a beautiful night to watch a football game in the spring. We don't usually get to do that, but come on out if you can join us and cheer on the Bison.
Bison have it 1st and 10 on their own 43. Carrasquillo takes the snap and hands off to Smith, going from right to left, and he picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards off left guard, and that offensive line starting to wear down the defensive line and continuing to wear down the defensive line of the Dragons. And, you know, if you're the Bison coaching staff, you might want to just ride number 5 for a little while.
Take the lesson from Darryl Royal at the University of Texas when he was there running the wishbone, and he would say that when you throw the football, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
And one of them is real bad, depending on where on the field it happens. So, 2nd down, Carrasquillo drops straight back. He flips it. It's intercepted at about the 48 as the pass was a little off target and into the hands of John Martinez. And so the Dragons get their own interception just a couple of plays after giving up one to the Bison.
I don't know if the receiver was in the wrong place or the pass went to the wrong place, but the receiver and the quarterback were not on the same page for that play, what was going on. You see the frustration in Alexi's reactions as he's coming off the field.
Yeah, generally it's the receiver who makes the misread. Not always, but
every time if you're the quarterback.
Of course. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons as they get their 6th possession here at the 48-yard line. 7:50 remaining here in the half. Lafayette takes the snap and hands off to the running back, going right to left, and he gets dropped for a loss. There on the tackle, Demetrius Morales, number 42. And that was number 6, I believe, on the carry, Bolden.
Yeah, and I think Decker Williams, number 24, the safety or linebacker, was able to get in there and get a piece of that tackle as well.
The defense is looking really, really primed and ready to go here for the Bison, giving the Dragon offense all kinds of problems. Bolden, the running back. Lafayette under center. Lafayette takes the snap, fakes to Bolden, rolls to his right, flushed back the other direction, forced to throw, and almost completes it to number 7, Drevion Williams, at around the 47 of the Bison, but it falls incomplete, a little bit too tall. Gets through his hands. It's going to be 3rd down now with 7:16 remaining in the half.
David Durbin, number 43 on the left side of the line, I think they've been switching sides from time to time. He got in and flushed the quarterback, and then big number 97, whose name we've been calling all night long, got back there and got his hands up. And when you get that big wall of humanity with their hands in the air, it's kind of hard to –
It makes the pass difficult.
Makes it very difficult to see what's down the field, much less complete what's down the field.
Amaris Hill and Luna having big games on the defensive line for the Bison. That pass complete from Lafayette for a 1st down to number 13. Number 13 for the Dragons is Brett Wagner. He was tackled by number 26, Braxton Smith. Make that 28, Williams on the stop. And so it'll be 1st down and 10 on the Bison 40, and we're going to have a timeout. Bison. So they want to talk about that as they get it in, or the Dragons get it in plus territory. The
Dragons were going to move up and try to go a little up tempo there, change their pace a little bit, because this is their first foray into the Bison's side of the field without it being a penalty or starting there because of mistakes by the Bison. So they finally are starting to get a drive going and keep something sustained. They're in this game. There's 7 minutes and 7:03 left in the half, so they've got plenty of time. So that change of pace was really going to throw the throw the Bison off. So they call the timeout, get that timeout in there, and make sure they're on the same page so they can shut this drive down.
Kelly, will you run through the
sure.
sponsors real quick here? Do this.
We want to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, 24-Hour Fitness, Central Texas locations. They can be located at www.24hourfitness.com. We're back to play now with the Dragons at the Bison 40-yard line. 7:03 left.
Lafayette in the shotgun drops straight back, flips it over to the left, intended for number 7 again. Incomplete as the pass a little bit off. It's going to bring up 2nd down, and the Dragons moving quickly back to the line of scrimmage, trying to pick up the pace a little bit there offensively. They think they're going to be able to keep the Bison on their heels, and also, if they're successful, to give their defense a chance to rest. So 2nd down and 10, Lafayette in a shotgun formation. Looking to throw. Flushed out to the left. Pass is complete to number 13, and he's tackled out of bounds after he picks up a 1st down for the Dragons, and that's Brett Wagner again on the completion.
He tried to stay in bounds and got
that was a
absolutely
mistake.
blasted at the end of that.
Let's go, Bison!
Good night. That's got to rattle the teeth.
Yeah, that never feels good. 1st and 10 here for Lafayette. He's flushed out. He tucks it and runs. He's at the 20, and he's dropped right around the 16. Number 30 there on the stop, Alex Thompson. It's going to make it 2nd down. Oh, they gave him the 1st, rather. Ball's going to be where? It's marked at the 18-yard line.
18-yard line, yeah.
So Lafayette, the shotgun formation, Bolden, the running back. Bison defense looks a little confused here. 1st down, rather. Lafayette brings a man in motion, left to right. We're going to have a timeout.
Dragons called it.
Yeah, both teams looked a little bit off there, not sure what they wanted to do.
Yeah, sometimes when you haven't worked a lot together like these teams haven't, you know, they're the third week into the season, one preseason workout before they get cranking on this season, that up-tempo can not only throw off the defense, it can also throw off the offense that's not used to operating together. And the Dragon coaches wanted to make sure their guys were on the same page so they can keep this drive going. They've finally had a productive drive and been able to move the football on this Bison defense.
Well, and the timeout probably needed by both teams there.
Yeah, with that tempo, it's hard for the defense to get subs on and keep their guys fresh. So, but this is one of those circumstances where the Dragons want to make sure they are doing what they want to continue to do to keep this drive going. Folks, we've got about 6:04 left in this half. The Dragons have a good drive going. This is their first penetration deep into the Bison into the field in the game. So they're trying to keep this drive going. The Bison trying to shut this down, keep points off the board.
Lafayette has it, shotgun formation, drops back, looks to his left, goes back to – looked to his right and went back left. Pass intended for number 7, Drevion Williams, and he had an opportunity at it. Would have been a touchdown there for the Dragons. He was unable to bring it in.
It was there. It hit him in the hands, but he had a lot of guys around him. I guess he lost his concentration, dropped the ball, but good big break for the Bison defense there because he hit the receiver.
And they're taking their time in the huddle here after that incompletion, and, you know, they're inside the red zone here. First time tonight. They want to take advantage, especially against this Bison defense, which has been playing pretty well, except for this drive here. And then, you know, they're probably a little tired as well. Both defenses working hard tonight. Second down and 10 for the Dragons. Lafayette in a shotgun formation. Brings a man left to right in motion. Drops straight back. Throws a pass to the corner, incomplete. Out ahead of the receiver and the defenders, about 4 yards ahead of where anybody could catch it. And so it'll bring up third down after that incompletion with 5:51 remaining in the half. Bison hanging on to a 7-point lead here in their undefeated season. You want to keep that record clean as you can.
Right. The tempo that the Dragons were trying to go with, they had to call the timeout, shut that tempo down. That helps the Bison get back focused and start to shut the offense back down. And now the Dragons have gone back to a huddle and the traditional running of the offense now. So they've had to come out of that up tempo.
Third down and 10 for Lafayette and the Dragons. He drops back. He's got pressure coming from the right. Pass is complete. He's tipped by the receiver to himself for the touchdown. And the Dragons are on the board here. Drevion Williams with that reception. It's 7-6 with 5:43 remaining in the half. Point after attempt coming up here next.
That's got to be a family member. She's really excited.
Good
catch.
The one fan from San Marcos coming up tonight.
Good concentration by the receiver there because, like you said, he tipped the ball initially, but he was able to keep his eyes on it and force his way into the end zone after he made the catch. Good concentration.
Point after attempt here for the Dragons is going to be attempted by number 24, David Owen. And, you know, they had a couple guys didn't realize they were on special teams, so they had to get those guys out there. Snap is high. The hold is down and good, but it's blocked. It's going to be scooped up by the Bison. He's going to take it down the right sideline. No one near him. Number 30, Alex Thompson, for the two-point conversion as he rolls his way across the goal line.
Flag on the play.
Flag will possibly prevent that from being points.
Kicker got blasted, and he's still down on the field.
And that's likely where the penalty flag could have come from, although the flag is pretty far away from.
I think the flag came up, but we may have an illegal block on that return, which will take points off the board for the Bison.
That's unfortunate. It's 7-6. You're holding on to the lead, but they may get another attempt here depending on what the call is.
Kicker's up, being helped off the field. Looks like he hurt his leg a little bit, but it was like almost the entire Bison special teams was back there helping that ball off the tee. He got blasted.
I didn't see the hit on the kicker.
I couldn't even call the number of who hit him because I think 4 of the 11 guys on the Bison special teams wound up right there at the ball when it was going to be kicked. That snap was high, so the holder had to get it down. Didn't work out real well.
We'll see what the final determination is here right
Looks like
now.
they're going to get another shot at it.
They're going to give them another attempt at the field goal, or they're going to probably likely go for 2 then if their kicker is hurt.
I think he was telling the coach there was a block in the back on the return, so the Dragons will get another shot at this extra point.
The block in the back was on the return.
Okay, so it should be no points for anybody in a kickoff.
Right. But they're going to discuss it here. We'll see what it looks like they are going to set up to kick off. So it'll be a 7-6 score with 5:43 remaining in the half, and the Bison will hang on to the lead. The penalty will be assessed on the kick or pre-kick. It's going to go against the Bison, which will mean that the Dragons should be kicking off from midfield, but we'll see. Or not midfield, from the 45.
Yeah, I think it'll be a 10-yard penalty. That drive has got to be frustrating for the Bison because they've seemingly dominated this whole game.
Well, that's where it's important for you to build a lead and
put points
not
on the
have
board.
more than just to hang on to just one lead.
Yeah, so it was a 15-yard penalty. So they will be kicking from midfield. Yeah, and this is where you got to watch out for an onside kick from the Dragons because even if it's recovered by the Bison, they're going to be at the 40-yard line. Most of these returns, most of these drives have started 30, 35, 40-yard line. So they don't have a lot to lose if they do decide to try an onside kick, but we'll see what's going with 5:43 left in the half.
Carlin Linneberry kicking off for the Dragons. And that kick's going to be fielded by number 28, Drake Williams, who's going from right to left. Up over, loses the ball right around the 25. They're going to say he fumbled. It looked like his knee was down to me. But they're going to say
that ball popped out first.
They're going to say that it was, but it was recovered by the Bison there. So no harm, no foul is number 8, Dante Garner there to make the recovery. Great job there by Garner, alert play to keep possession for the Bison.
Oh,
here.
it would have been devastating for the Bison.
Yeah, that's the kind of momentum shifter you want to avoid, especially when your defense is playing as well as it's played.
So Capital City's got time. They can run their regular offense. I think they have 2 timeouts left in the half. So they've got those 2 timeouts in their pockets. They can run their regular offense. They don't really have to be in a hurry. So they've got plenty of time, and points here would be just crucial. Almost had a false start on the receiver out there.
It's going to bring up second down as the pass is incomplete, intended for 17. Delandian driver. I'm going to get that right one of these times.
I don't know. Do you go back to the running game here?
I would grind it out here. I at least until I got to midfield, that would be my option.
They've had a lot of success right at the teeth of the Dragons' defense.
Yeah, I'd run right behind the center guard area, and that's what they do. And Williams picking his way, breaking a few tackles up to the 35 where he's dropped. It'll be 3rd down now and about 4. So you want to keep it. You want to keep possession here. At the very minimum, you want to grind out the rest of this half.
Right. Well, and the Dragons will get the ball to start the second half too, so it would be very valuable.
Yeah, you want to keep it away from them if you can.
Bison to put some points on the board right here. Capital City really could use a sustained drive, kill this clock, and put some points on the board.
So it is now 3rd down, shotgun formation for Carrasquillo. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield. He drops straight back, got some pressure, moves forward in the pocket, flips it out. It's intercepted at the 45, at midfield, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, down at about the 10-yard line, and that is number 1 on the interception, Carlin Linneberry, and he carries it all the way, or was that 1? Yeah, it was 1, Linneberry, all the way down to the 11-yard line of the Bison.
Boy, he read that pass all the way. Whenever the quarterback left the pocket, he just kind of ghosted him deep in the backfield. And the Bison are leading 7-6 right now, but the Dragons are threatening off the interception return down to the 11. And that's a huge blow at this point in this half.
Yeah, there's 4:29 left. Still plenty of football to be played in this half.
Bison are up 7-6. So the defense really needs to tighten here.
Yeah, this is where your defensive line play could be very vital to keeping this score where it is. Lafayette in a shotgun formation. He's got 2 receivers on either side of the formation, 1 running back in the backfield. Chris Bolden, the running back. Lafayette takes the snap, hands off to Bolden. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Big 98 there on the stop, and that's Luna having a big game. Jonathan Luna again with another tackle. A loss on the play, in fact.
He's strong enough where he held that running back with his left arm and tried to strip the ball with his right arm, wound up bringing the running back down, but that's exactly what they needed on this play. They tried a little misdirection in the backfield and send that. The blocking was going left, but the ball came back to the right, and it didn't work out. Luna snipped it out very well.
So it's 2nd down now, 12 yards to go. They can convert a 1st down at the 1-yard line. Lafayette takes the snap, drops straight back, looking to throw. Hits a receiver who drops it right over the middle. Good defensive play there by the Bison defender. That pass intended for Dravion Williams. And not sure who was there. It looked like it was 28. There's no 28. 29, rather. Davis.
Justin Dougherty.
There we go. Dougherty on the defensive play, 3rd down and 12. The Bison defense bowing up a little bit here in the red zone, trying to prevent points with 3:39 left. Lafayette in a shotgun formation. The running back Bolden. Pass is completed in the flat, and then the defense is there to wrap him up pretty quickly. Number 16 there defensively. That's Emmanuel Daniels to put a stop to that play, bringing up 4th down with 3:30 and counting here in the half. And the Dragons, they got about 14 yards to keep this drive alive unless they got a field goal kicker. And after the last point after attempt, and when the field goal kicker got hit, he might not be ready to go back out there.
And I don't see anybody. Yeah, he's over there kicking into the net, so hopefully it wasn't anything serious. But on that swing pass like that, you're hoping the second receiver out there makes his block, and then the receiver can beat the other corner that's over there. But that did not happen because the Dragon receiver had a difficult time maintaining his block in the first place, but the corner came up, made a good solid tackle, keep that from going anywhere. So it's 4th down now with 2:55 left in the half. The Bison still hanging on to a 1-point lead, 7-6.
And there's going to be a timeout as the Dragons want to discuss it as they see that this is one of the more important possessions they are going to have here going into the half.
Yeah, because if the Dragons can put points on the board right now, then they get the ball whenever they come back to start the second half, which is crucial for this Dragons team. Folks, we want to thank some more of our sponsors for tonight. First half sponsors, 24-hour 201 Fitness Central Texas locations. They can be located at www.24hourfitness.com. We thank them for their sponsorship tonight of our first half of this game. They're actually our top sponsor for the night, so we appreciate 24-Hour Fitness sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Also, we want to thank Cotton Patch Cafe, 1700 East Palm Valley Boulevard, Suite 580 in Round Rock, Texas. Cotton Patch with some good old-fashioned home cooking, exceptional chicken strips, in my opinion, with tasty cream gravy. And Cairo 512, located at 2681 Gaddis School Road, number 220 in Round Rock, Texas. They can be located at www.cryo512.com. Back to action.
Fourth down, and so Lafayette in a shotgun takes the snap. He's going to throw it into the end zone. It's almost intercepted and, drop, but you want to drop that one almost. I mean, if you catch it, you want to go down to a knee and get the ball at the 20 because, you might be able to take it 100 yards, but that's a long way to go, and you want to just get the ball and possess it. And so we're having an injured player down, and we'll go back to sponsors there. I think we got at least one more that was on the list, and that's Moments Enshrine Photography. You can go to or see the work for Moments Enshrine Photography online at www.momentsensrined.com. And so there is still an injured player down, and we'll continue with the timeout here. We're working on the scoreboard. We were able to get the video capture device when it was just audio. The scoreboard was working, but now that we have video, the scoreboard portion doesn't seem to want to work correctly. And the technology, it's there.
Folks, I saw one of our commenters on our YouTube page watching tonight's game asking about the league. This is the Crossroads Amateur Football League. If you're interested in more information on them, you can find that league at www.crafl.com and also find them on Facebook. Just search for the Crossroads Amateur Football League. And there are 28 teams in this league throughout all of Texas.
Yeah, it's a big league.
It is.
Now that website it's brand new. I went and visited it today, so it's still under construction. There's some of the pages that they're still developing, but each team is listed there on the page, and you can find one in your neighborhood. If you're not here in Central Texas, or you are in Central Texas, there's several teams in the Austin area. 1st and 10 now for the Bison. Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation takes the snap and hands it to the running back, number 5, and he's got it up over the 25. He's ridden out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, and that's Alvin Smith on the carry. And we also have 2 other sponsors we were unaware of, Chicken Wang Kang and House of Bounce, both in Round Rock. It's the Wang Kang,
I've had that chicken. It's actually really good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's really good chicken.
There's some good restaurants opening up here in the Round Rock area, and we've got some sponsoring your Bison football team. And the restaurant-wise, it's Chicken Wang Kang and Cotton Patch Cafe. Yeah, you can find Chicken Wang Kang on Facebook. That's Wang Kang, W-A-N-G-K-A-N-G. You got to draw that I out, and when you spell it, you use an A. We've got a little jet sweep going to number 28 from right to left. Picks up about 4 yards rather on that carry. That's Ahmad Parks. So it'll be second down. Oh, it's number 28 rather on that carry, Drake Williams. Second down for the Bison, shotgun formation. Carrasquillo in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes to Smith and rolls to his right. Looks like he's going to keep, picks up a nice block and gets near the first down marker. Number 84 came up and laid the wood. Desmond Hill dropped a linebacker, giving Carrasquillo enough room to pick up that first down. What do you think about that, Kelly?
You could see that coming whenever he left the pocket and started out towards the right sideline. His receiver came back, Hill came back looking for somebody, and he found him right there in the hash and the numbers and just leveled him.
And this is fun football, too. Good contact. There's been a lot of good hits here tonight. 1st and 10 now for the Bison. Clock at 1:15 and counting. Carrasquillo, shotgun formation, takes a snap, fakes to Smith, throws it down the right side, intended for number 49, falls incomplete. Mishak, the intended receiver.
Clock stops so Bison can regroup. They don't have to hurry up. Folks, hang with us at halftime. There's going to be a special tribute to Coach Deacon Gilmore, who was lost. Part of the Bison family was killed in an automobile accident this past week. Our condolences to his family, his wife, his entire family, all of his friends, and the entire Bison team for that loss. But stay with us. There's going to be a tribute to him by the team at halftime, so hang around for that.
Second down here for the Bison. Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation as the running back Smith just to his left. Takes the snap, fakes like he's going to throw to Smith, and then carries straight ahead and gets it up to about midfield where he stopped by number 90, and we're going to have a 99, Chris Murphy. And so with 53 seconds, there's going to be a timeout on the field by the Bison.
Albert Sanchez, the center, came up swinging his arm like he'd hurt his arm or something on that play. I didn't see what happened to him, but he was reacting to some pain before that play was even over.
It's one of the tougher positions in football, the center. So it looks like it's maybe the backup center for the Bison, so they could be in trouble if he can't go. 52 seconds left.
Somebody's about to learn a new position.
Well, you can usually move a guard over to center if you can get him to get a snap off. It's difficult when you're not doing it consistently.
Right.
And it looks, those little pistol snaps or a traditional shotgun distance, they seem like they look pretty easy, but unless you're doing it on a regular basis, it's hard to be consistent on that snap. And that can affect the quarterback play as well and the timing of many of your plays. So hopefully they'll be able to keep him out on the field.
Looks like he's all right. Like I say, I didn't see what happened. I don't know what happened. But
could have been just one of them stingers you get in football. That burning sensation down your arm. It happens.
It's a car crash between the tackles.
It usually is. It's been that way tonight. So Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation. Smith, the running back. He takes the snap, drops back, flips it to the right. Pass intended for Mishak, and it's tipped up. And it looks like they're going to say it was intercepted. Second one of the evening for number 1, Carlin Linneberry. The pass hit Mishak in the hands, and he tipped it up in the air, and as it dropped to the ground, Linneberry dove down and got under it, scooped it up. And we'll give the Dragons another opportunity with 45 seconds here in the half to try to put some points on the board. They're down 7-6 to your Capital City Bison.
Mishak's really frustrated with himself because it was a catchable ball, bounces off his hands. He's going to catch the ball, get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock, and the drive's still alive. But
it's one of those, the pass was tall enough that, as a quarterback, you want to throw a better pass, but as a receiver, you got to catch that every time.
Yep.
And he probably does catch that on a regular basis, not so here, and it results in a turnover. And so we'll have first down for the Dragons here as Lafitte, the quarterback, takes the snap, fakes to Bolden, drops to his right. It's being flushed out, pressure everywhere. He does get the pass off, and it's complete for a gain of about 3 yards, maybe 4 to the 40. Dravion Williams, that receiver. It'll bring up second down.
Williams did a good job of recognizing that his quarterback was running for his life. Came back to help him because he ran a fairly deep route. Came back to help him out, and they were able to turn it into a positive play. Gain of about 4 yards, keep the drive going. He got out of bounds, stopped the clock with 39.2 seconds left to go. Here in Round Rock, Texas at Stony Point High School.
So Lafitte, the quarterback, takes the snap, drops straight back. Pass intended for number 7, and he tips it up, and it's intercepted by the Bison. So Dravion Williams, it was the intended receiver. He hits him in the hand, and Alex Thompson comes up with a tip drill and is able to possess the ball. Gets tackled at the 26-yard line, but it'll be first and 10 Bison with about 32 seconds left here in the half.
Thompson did a really good job of concentrating. It was a one-handed interception because he only got his left hand on the ball, tipped it again up into the air so that he could maintain control of it, turns the ball over. We'll see what the Bison are going to try to do with 31.7 seconds left.
Well, you kind of want to bring out, trick play if you got it, but you don't want to risk anything either. You're on your end of the field. You're hanging on to a 1-point lead, so you want to see what you can get on this play. Maybe you air it out on a deep route down one of the sidelines, knowing that if it is an interception, it's a long punt.
Yeah, and often what you'll see them bust a run like they're going to run the clock out, and if they can get something really big and positive off that 10, 15, 20-yard run on that first play, then I think they may open it up, but they're going to the passing game.
Yeah, Karaskia flips it out to Smith when he's in trouble. Smith breaks the tackles at the 35-30. He steps out of bounds right around the 46, and so it'll be a first down with 23 seconds left in the half. And, that's something you want to get up on the line of scrimmage. The clock stops. You get out of bounds. Have something ready to call here.
Bison got away with one there on the sideline. It was blocking the back. Referees didn't see it, but that's fortunate for the Bison there. Keep this drive going. Good start to the drive.
Yeah,
it does happen. And it's good whenever it benefits your team.
That's right. They're going to say he was not out of bounds, and so the clock is moving under 10 seconds here. Karaskia looking over the offense. I'm not sure he's aware. He gets the snap with about 6 seconds left. He's flushed forward in the pocket, looking to throw. He gets it complete to Mishak, who breaks the tackle at the 35, and he bounces off a cup, pinballs some guys down to the 25, and there's a flag at the very end. And so you cannot end a half on a defensive penalty. We'll see what the call is.
It's going to be a dead ball penalty.
It looks like there's some upset players.
One of the Bison's pulling one of the other Bison off of the deal. Now they're upset with each other.
We'll see what the referees are able to sort this out.
So I know they're going to call a block in the back on the Bison. They're probably going to call an unsportsmanlike. Yeah, they'll call an unsportsmanlike, I think, on the Dragons.
I'm not sure what happens there because that is that offsetting penalties?
I don't know since the clock has run out.
One's dead ball. I think the block in the back would end the half, and then the dead ball penalty would be assessed.
They're both dead ball penalties
to open
may be
the
assessed.
second half,
yeah,
which would be beneficial to the Bison as they're kicking off to the Dragons to open the second half. So. We'll see what the call is here. It could be penalties only against one of the two teams.
While the referees are discussing what's going on these penalties here, we're going to get the call. Actually, he's going to tell everybody but us what the call is.
Well, you know the coaches are going to want to know first.
Folks, I think you can see in the picture on YouTube that there's some balloons right there. That's part of the tribute for the loss of Coach Gilmore that they're going to have, the Bison will have at half. So hang around for that.
So both teams move back to their respective sidelines. And it looks like that is going to be the half. I never saw a signal, though.
We'll see if we can. Yeah, it is going to be the end of the half. We'll see if we can get the skinny on it at the half and let you know what's going to happen with that.
Well, and while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and mention the sponsors again. You can't mention these sponsors enough. Okay, the sponsors, top sponsors, 24 Hour Fitness, all the Central Texas locations, they're sponsors of Bison football. You can reach them at www.24hourfitness.com. Second sponsor on our list, Big Frog Custom T-Shirt Company in Round Rock, the Round Rock location, the sponsor of the Bisons at 2051 Gaddis School Road in Round Rock. You can go online at bigfrog.com. The other sponsors are Cotton Patch Cafe, located at 1700 East Palm Valley Boulevard, Suite 580 in Round Rock, and in Cairo 512 at 2681 Gaddis School Road, Suite 220 in Round Rock. You can find them online at cairo512.com. Don't forget Moments Enshrine Photography at momentsenshrine.com. Chicken Wing King on Facebook, and House of Bounce. And let's go to,
ladies and gentlemen, the Bison are going to ask you to join us in a moment of silence in recognizing the loss of a member of the Bison family, Coach Deacon Gilmore, who passed this past week. We'd ask that you would stand. Gentlemen, remove your hats, and let's have a moment of silence in honor of Coach Gilmore and his family. Thank you for joining us in this tribute to Coach Gilmore. On behalf of the Bison football team, we wish only the best for Coach Gilmore's family and ask you to remember not only his family, but the entire Bison family as you continue your week. The players will be releasing balloons in honor of Coach Gilmore.
You can see all the balloons being released into the air here in Round Rock, Texas, in honor of a fallen coach.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Bison would like to thank you for helping us honor Coach Deacon Gilmore.
Coach Gilmore will be missed by the Bison family. Incredible moment here as they honor their fallen coach. We'll leave you with the silence and the team praying at midfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lost little girl looking for her mother, wearing light green sweats and a dark blue sweatshirt, standing down by the gate.
Welcome back to Stony Point High School here, where it's a 7-6 score. Your Capital City Bison on top of the visiting Syntex Dragons. Hopefully you stuck around for the halftime show and the recognition of the fallen coach of the Bison, Coach Deacon. And we're getting ready to get underway here in the second half. We're about 2 minutes away from the second half kickoff. If you'll recall, the game opened up with the Capital City Bison receiving, so the kickoff will be going to the visiting Syntex Dragons here to open the second half. A pretty good ceremony there at halftime for the coach. You saw the balloons be released into the atmosphere, into the heavens, where he is looking down upon his team, the Syntex, or the Capital City Bison. Well, Kelly, heading into the second half, we had quite a bit of defense, especially in the first quarter. Second quarter had a little bit of offense. We had some mistakes. The Bison able to capitalize on a special teams mistake by the Dragons when the ball was snapped over the punter's head. They were able to grab the ball inside the 20 and punch it in for their points. The Syntex Dragons also taking advantage of short field, and they were able to punch in and get a touchdown, unable to convert the extra point, and that's where we're at, 7-6. And so we have a lot of possessions by both teams that are being shut down by the opponent's defense. So what do you see going into the second half, Kelly? What do you think the Bison are going to need to do here?
So you know there had to be conversations at the half about the mistakes that are being made by both the offenses primarily. There's been interceptions off tip passes. There's been passes that have hit receivers in the hands. They've dropped them, quarterbacks overthrowing. So neither offense has had much success in getting anything consistently going. So we'll see what changes get made at half and see what the Bison can do. The defense has been stout. They've done a pretty good job of shutting down the Dragons' offense. But Capital City wants to get that offense cranked back up, get that offense going. But the Dragons have done a good job of shutting that down, too, to an extent. But a lot of it's been the mistakes that Capital City has made that have got to just be absolutely frustrating for them.
Well, you got to work that out. They have a 2-0 record here in the CRAFL, and they want to keep that pristine, undefeated record, and the Dragons are trying to prevent that here. Summers is going to kick off for the Bison as we open the second half. Toe to leather. It's kind of a short kick, fielded right around the 25-yard line, carried up through the 30, 35, 40, midfield, 45. He stumbles at midfield, and he's dropped right around the 35-yard line of the Bison, and that is number 35, I believe, on that return. 38, rather, Jareth Martinez.
Looked like Cade Summers, the kicker, was able to
save a touchdown.
Yeah,
there was a
him
big
up a little bit. Wasn't much of an effort at the tackle, but he did enough to trip him up a little bit, get him off balance, and keep him from scoring. So Dragons are starting with great field position in the second half. He just took that right up the gut of the Bison's special teams.
Well, you know, you have limited practice time, and these guys have full-time jobs as well, and they come out here and work in their spare time. And, you know, you'd like for your kicker to get some tackling drills in, but you really want him to work on his kicking more than anything.
Right.
So he did a good job of even slowing him down there. 1st and 10 now for the Dragons as we open the first series here in the second half. Shotgun formation by the quarterback, Travis Lafayette. We have a whistle before the snap. It looks like it's either going to be a false start. I wasn't sure. I didn't see who moved, but they're going to back them up 5 yards. That'll move the line of scrimmage to the 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15 now for the Dragons, 14:47 here in the third quarter.
Not really how you want to start the half if you're the Dragons offense, that's for sure. You got to hold your water.
Yeah, it's tough. Shotgun. Snap is there. Pass complete right around the 35-yard line to number 13 of the Dragons, and that's Brett Wagner. He was tackled right away by number 49 of the Bison, and that, of course, is Meshach. It's easy to remember Meshach's name because of the biblical connotation
Shadrach,
that I have
Meshach,
in my
and
head.
Abednego.
Yeah.
I think his last name's Adkins.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Also a Beastie Boys song.
Because there was
Little
a number.
known one.
Oh, okay.
2nd down and 11 here for the Dragons. They have the ball at the 34-yard line of the Bison. Lafayette takes the snap, hands off to the running back, number 8, straight ahead. Lafayette's there along with a few other Bisons to prevent much of a gain at all by the running back, number 6, Chris Bolden. And so it's going to be 3rd down now and about 12 yards. The ball marked at the 35-yard line of the Bison.
The Dragons aren't having much success at all moving that big defensive line off the football. When they do get a chance to do something in the running game, they're usually testing the corners, so they may go back out there again, test those edges.
Shotgun formation for the Dragons, 3rd and 12. Lafayette has one running back in the backfield, takes the snap, drops back. He's got pressure, and he's sacked for a loss. Both Jamar Martin is there along with number 42, Demetrius Morales, and there'll be a sack. And, I'm going to give that sack to Morales, but it could have gone to either one of them there. It's going to be marked at the 45-yard line of the Bison. It's 4th down, and the Dragons come out in a punting formation.
Yeah, by the time he saw the pursuit, he was cooked back there already, and there was no way to get rid of the ball just to save the down.
Elijah Kean's in to punt for the Dragons. Back deep to receive for the Bison. We have number 28, and that is Drake Williams. High punt. Williams is going to let it drop at the 20, and it takes a Bison roll basically laterally, and it's going to be down right at the 21-yard line, where they'll have their first possession here in the second half, and Cap City's going to see what they can do with the ball here.
A little sigh of relief that a special teams play went off without the fumble, the snap being fumbled or kick being blocked or something. So Bison did what they needed to do on defense, keep the points off the board in that first possession by the Dragons in the second half. Now let's see what kind of changes the Bison were able to make at the half on offense.
Yeah, you have limited time when there's a ceremony like there was here tonight on halftime adjustments. And, honestly, the running game really worked for them well in the first half. I'd like to see them focus on that here to open the second half at least, and maybe go deep into the half with that. Carrasquillo, the quarterback, takes the snap, hands off to the running back. Smith, ball's on the ground, and it's covered by the Dragons. Number 22 for the Dragons, Jonas Torres, able to get on that loose ball. There was an exchange issue between Carrasquillo and the running back, Alvin Smith, and unfortunately for the Bison, it's Dragon football deep in their territory.
Yeah, both teams are having a terrible time hanging on to the football tonight. And I don't know if the ball's slick. I don't know if they're just not concentrating on hanging on to that ball. you know, Jimmy Johnson was infamous for telling his running backs, hang on to the football, not telling them don't drop the football.
Right.
That whole mental game. But, boy, both teams are just struggling hanging on to the football tonight.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Lafayette in a shotgun formation. Takes the snap, drops back, looking to throw in the flat, incomplete. Intended for number 45 of the Dragons, and that is Stephen Allen. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now for the Dragons. And the Bison defense kind of has his back up against the wall. They've bailed the team out a couple of times tonight. They're going to look to do it again here.
Well, the points that the Dragons have been able to put on the board was an exact result from this in the first half. With the turnover deep in their own territory, and the Dragons were able to take care of it and put points on the board, and that's the only success they've really had on offense. So this is a critical time for the Bison to step up, Bison defense step up and try to hold them out of the end zone.
It's like deja vu all over again. Lafayette takes the snap, drops straight back, pass complete over the middle to number 84 at around the 5-yard line. He goes down as he catches it, Jalen Sims, and that'll give a 1st and goal for the Dragons at the 5-yard line, and the Bison defense is really going to have to bow their neck now.
Yeah, Sims did a good job climbing the ladder there, and there was some confusion in the defensive backfield, and basically Simmons was left just all by himself in the middle of the field with nobody there.
He had to go up and get that pass, otherwise he may have scored with that.
Right. Yeah, if it hits him in the chest, it's 6.
Lafayette in a shotgun formation, takes the snap, hands to the running back straight ahead. He's tripped up after a short gain. Getting up off the bottom of the pile for the Bison, number 42, Demetrius Morales. So very minimal gain there for the running back. It'll bring up 2nd down. And that running back was number 38, Jareth Martinez. They bring in a new back, the Dragons do.
Even though they're not having a lot of success on the ground, they've got to keep especially the linebackers and that edge rush honest with that running game. So they're being able to do that a little bit at least and open up a little something in the passing game.
Well, the Dragons bring in Chad Miles. He's wearing number 50, so he's obviously a lineman or a linebacker. They fake the handoff to him. Pass is tipped up in the air and drops to the ground, almost intercepted, but not quite able to get his hands on the ball as Decker Williams. And so it'll be 3rd down and goal here. Ball's at the 4.
And guess who got his big old paws up in the air and was able to swat that ball?
Was it Hill?
Yeah, Hill. Was
it
Meshach?
Okay. So Meshach gets a hand on it there. Big 49 playing left end right now. Spending a little time on both sides of the ball. Shotgun formation here for Lafayette. Miles takes the handoff from him straight ahead. He's tripped up after a gain of 2 or 3. Number 24, Decker Williams, able to get the stop. That'll put it at 4th and goal from about the 2.5-yard line. Big play here, Kelly. Big play.
Yeah, the Dragons are keeping their offense on the field, which you would expect right now with the difficulties they've had on the special teams. But we'll see if the Bison can stiffen that attack, hold them out of the end zone.
Going to have to bow your neck here. Lafayette under center, carries the quarterback, sneaks straight ahead, but the Bison sniff it out. Number 20, Jamaris Martin there along with Rav Hall. Number 20 able to make the stop at the goal line. Goal line stand for the Bison, and they'll take over 1st and 10. They got a lot of field ahead of them, but they didn't give up any points, and they like that.
Martin was like he was in the huddle and knew the snap count that was coming. If the Dragons quarterback alters his count a little bit, then it's going to be offsides, but he timed it perfectly. He shot that gap and stopped it. And to keep the Dragons out of the end zone.
That's part of that mental game of football that, you kind of get accustomed to playing with teammates over time. And when you play against opponents, you kind of catch their tendencies. And these teams not quite that familiar. And so 1st and 10 from the 3-yard line for the Bison. Carrasquillo takes the snap, hands off straight ahead to Smith, and he gets about 3 yards to the 7. Make it the 8-yard line. No, it's the 7-yard line. Right around there, 2nd down.
He's a tough runner. He's fun to watch run the football.
He keeps his legs grinding. He's Roger Craig style, high knee look, and I like that. It's hard to bring guys down that do that.
He's got that low center of gravity. And, you know, that you hear the old mantra all the time, lowest pads wins. But, boy, he sure keeps his pads low and squared up to the line of scrimmage. It's fun to watch him run.
He stays in the backfield with the quarterback, Carrasquillo, on 2nd down. The handoff goes to Smith straight ahead, and he picks up about 3-4 more yards to about – no, they're going to give him enough for the 1st down. Right at the marker around the 8 – or the 13, rather, 1st down and 10 for the Bison as they are able to get a little bit of breathing room off of that goal line. And, you know, if I'm the Bison, I continue to grind it here, work the clock down, try to get some points out of this drive.
Right guard did a good job just then of redirecting his guy. He didn't have to muscle him out of the way. He just turned his hips to his own right, pushed that guy out, and running back sees a hole and busts it wide open, gets 1st down.
Carrasquillo hands off to number 11, and that is Sammy Wheeler. He's got a nice run for a gain of about 12 off a right tackle up to the 25-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Bison. And they're grinding it out now. They've got a little bit of room, got some momentum, and the offense is moving the ball.
Well, and a couple of times in the first half, the Bison switched the running back out and gave Smith a little breather back there. And this time they get a new running back in, fresh running back, pop that run again. So that's a good call. Just stick with that running game like that.
Handoff goes to that new running back, Wheeler. He breaks a couple of tackles and carries up over the line of scrimmage for a gain of about 3. They're going to put him right at the 28, 2nd down. And so the Bison keep grinding here. They want to eat up clock as much as they can, and they're down to 7:44. 2nd down and 7 now for Capital City Bison. Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation. Smith back in at running back. Parks, rather, number 2 at running back. Carrasquillo tucks it and runs up over the 35, picks up the 1st down at about the 36, and so this drive continues for the Bison.
It looked like it may have been a design run play for the quarterback because he stepped back and tucked that ball, and I didn't know if he was just saw an opening and took off, but it looked designed. I think coach up here saying it was a design run.
John Elway style quarterback draw.
Well, on defense, you start getting the idea, hey, they're going to throw the ball at some point. When he drops back and it looks like he's going to throw the ball, it freezes those linebackers and keeps them from being able to collapse into the gaps.
Carrasquillo takes a snap on 1st down, flips it out complete to number 84, and that's going to be close to 1st down yardage. That's Desmond Hill on the reception. He's going to have enough for the 1st down, or just shy. Let's see. They're going to mark him at the 45, which will make it 2nd down and 1 yard here for the Bison.
Desmond caught that ball, and he started looking for somebody to hit. Big boy wanted to get something out there.
Well, he was expecting somebody to come hit him. So,
well, and he's bigger than any of the defensive backs on the field. He's a big kid. So
you like having a big receiver like that.
Yeah.
He's in the slot right now.
Yeah, it looks like a tight end in the slot right there.
Carrasquillo hands off to Smith, and he breaks one tackle, and then as he's breaking that tackle, he gets lit up for a loss there by number 50, and that's Miles. He came in and played a little running back at the goal line on the last series for the Dragons. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 as they gave him a loss of 1 on that play. It's going to be 6:27 and counting here in the 3rd quarter.
The Dragons have to know how big this 3rd down is for their defense.
Well, they've given them some rest, but you want to keep this drive going and get some points out of it. Carrasquillo's pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage by big number 44, able to get his hands up. That's Dylan Honea, and it's going to bring up 4th down now for the Bison. And they have a decision here. You've driven it out from your own goal line. Do you want to go for it here? Your defense is playing pretty well, but you don't want to give them a short field. It looks like they may go for it here. Very confident in the defensive play are the Bison. So they think their offensive line can get 2 yards here with Smith in the backfield as well. Carrasquillo in a shotgun with that running back. Fakes to Smith, flips it out in the flat, intended for number 84, and it's a low pass incomplete that intended for they said that was 84, right? That's Desmond Hill,
yeah.
Incomplete. It's just really not a catchable pass, and so it will be Dragon football now, 1st down.
Yeah, Alexi got a little hurried with that throw. He had some time where he could have set his feet good and squared up to make a good throw in there, but he tried to push that ball out too quick, and it just landed at Hill's feet.
Well, both defensive lines have gotten pressure on each opposing quarterback, and it's given them a little bit of happy feet, and they're trying to get rid of the ball a little quickly. So we got a 1st down and 10 for Lafayette. He's got the running back number 6 in the backfield with him. That is Chris Bolden. Lafayette fakes to Bolden, drops straight back, flips it complete to number 7, Dravion Hill, and he picks up about 6 yards where he's tackled by number 85, Clayton Jones. So that gain's going to make it 2nd down and about 2 for the Dragons. And, you know, this 1-point lead is pretty precarious here in the 3rd quarter. It looks like they're going to say he gained about 7 yards, so there'll be 3 to get the first here on 2nd down for the Dragons. And they're in a deep huddle right now.
Yeah, with
near
this
midfield.
With this emphasis on the running game now, that clock's running. You know, there's 5:26 now left in this 3rd quarter, and that's going to minimize the number of possessions you get.
Lafayette gets pressured. He's able to go straight ahead and get out and pick up the 1st down just outside the Bison 30 at about the 31. So the Dragons keep the drive alive. They're going to say he got the 1st down right at the 33. He rolled a little bit. It looked like he was down near the 31. They're going to put him at the 33 here, 1st down.
Yeah, he got pressure initially, just had to tuck it and run, but he had a nice opening in the middle of the field because the routes cleared out the linebackers and cleared out the safeties from the middle, and he had
it was a lane, but it wasn't a wide one.
Right.
He found it and squirted through it.
Yeah, once he gets past that 1st level, he had some running room.
Lafayette takes the snap, and the ball's on the ground. He's able to scoop it up and rolls out to his left, flips it out complete. Number 7, and he's wrapped up by a whole herd of Bison after catching the pass. That's Williams on the reception. That Bison tackling charge led by, getting up off the bottom of the pile there, is going to be number 16, Emmanuel Daniels. But it's going to be 2nd down and short, about 2 yards for the Dragons here after that completion.
Again, more problems hanging on to the football. Quarterback was able to pick it up and make something happen from it, but both teams struggling hanging on that ball.
Yeah, the Bison are going to have to show how good that defense is here, down up 1 late here of the 3rd quarter. Shotgun formation for Lafayette. He's got Martinez in the backfield with him, number 29. Ball's on the ground, and it's recovered by Meshach. Oh, check that. No, it is Meshach, number 49, with the recovery. And so he gave up an interception in the 1st half when he tipped it away.
Yeah.
He got it back for here in the 2nd half as he's able to scoop that up off the turf. He wasn't able to advance it very much, but that was number 38, Jareth Martinez, trying to hang on to that football, unable to do so, and the Bison get the ball back.
So the Dragons quarterback, he's got some speed, he's got some mobility, but the Bison are able to get that pressure off the edges, which forces him to stay in that pocket, and they've done a really good job of that tonight. Now it results in another turnover from the Dragons. The Bison get the ball. Defense shows up again, does what they need to do to keep this lead. So they're doing a great job of getting pressure off the edges, man.
Helps when you have a good nose they do.
Yeah, it does.
Force the quarterback up into his pile that he's created.
Right.
1st and 10 now. Carrasquillo takes the snap. He has a little bit of pressure, gets the pass complete to number 84 for a first down. Desmond Hill carries up over the 45 to the 48-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 there for the Bison as they look to try to add to their lead here in the 3rd quarter, try to make the 4th quarter a little more comfortable.
You get the ball into Desmond Hill's hands, and it's like you got a middle linebacker running at you. And those
not an easy tackle.
No, it's not. And he's looking for contact.
Carrasquillo hands off to Alvin Smith there on 1st and 10. He gains a minimal gain of maybe a yard. They're going to give him a yard. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 now after play. Ball marked at the 49-yard line of the Bison. Shotgun formation for Carrasquillo. He drops back looking to throw. Flips it in the flat to Smith. He puts a move and carries up over midfield, spins, able to break one more tackle, and he gets it up over the 50 to about the 49. Not really much of a game, but a lot of effort there, running back Alvin Smith.
Yeah, and the corner out there that needed to come up and make the tackle, he hung on, didn't make the tackle initially, but Smith couldn't get anything going, couldn't get his momentum going after he was able to shed that tackle because if he can break that tackle and get his feet back under him.
There's a lot of green in front of him.
There's a lot of field in front of him.
So we're going to have 3rd down now for Capital City. Carrasquillo in a shotgun has 2 running backs in the backfield with him, 2 receivers to the right of the formation, and 1 split out left. Carrasquillo drops straight back, looking to throw. Hits the receiver 84, Desmond Hill, for a first down up over the 40 to the 39, and they keep the drive alive, grinding it out. Capital City trying to build on their 7-6 lead. We're about 2 minutes left in the 3rd period here.
I like watching those well-designed plays like that because with the outside receivers running those routes, that drag route right across the middle of the field is there, and as big as Hill is, it's just a mismatch with anybody in the defensive backfield against him. So you hit him in the numbers, and he's got room, and he gets the first down. I like that play. Clears everything out for him.
Carrasquillo backing his receiver off the line of scrimmage in shotgun formation. 1st and 10 has 2 backs. Takes the snap, hands off to Smith, going left to right off a right tackle. That was Ahmad Parks, the ball carrier. Picks up about 4 yards to the 36-yard line where it'll be 2nd down.
It's good solid tackle. Good run, good hard run, but good solid tackle. The way you keep a fast running back from running, take him off his feet. So nice low tackles, get those cleats off the ground. And
sounds so easy until you have to put your shoulder into that thigh, and it's not quite so easy.
Yeah, because he's not that big, but he's got a head of steam going by the time he gets there.
A low center of gravity. 2nd down. Carrasquillo with a hard count. It looks like he draws someone off sides. We'll see if they call encroachment or if there was a movement on the left side of the line. We'll see the signal here.
He hasn't been a big fan of the signals. There we go.
It's going to go against the Bison. Is on the sack, and he basically negates the positive impact of the play by committing a foul after.
Yeah, because you go from 3rd and 15 to 1st and 10, and you're 10 yards from the red zone now as a result of you just having to get up and say something.
And there's another flag thrown at midfield, and that may go against the sideline here. That may be an additional 15 yards added to this. We'll see. Coaches are out on the field for the Dragons. It may be what's going on. That may be a sideline warning. We'll see if they do add to it. So there's another personal foul. That's another. Well, no, they only tacked on 5 yards there. For a sideline warning, it's a 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Bison. They have the ball at the Dragon 23-yard line, and the opportunity to add to their lead is growing as they grind it down. They started this drive with their backs to their goal line. Handoff goes straight ahead to number 11. Sammy Wheeler on the carry up over the 20 to about the 14, 15-yard line. They're going to mark him right at the 16. So we're going to go to the fourth quarter, as that's the end of the third on that play. We'll switch sides, and we'll mention the sponsors right now. Sponsors of Bison football are 24-Hour Fitness. You can sign up for your membership at 24-Hour Fitness online, 24hourfitness.com. That's 24hourfitness.com. Big Frog Custom T-Shirt Company in Round Rock, located at 2051 Gaddis School Road. You can go online and order your custom T-shirts from Big Frog at www.bigfrog.com. Other sponsors
they're our second half sponsor, right?
They're the second tiered sponsor. We got
okay. Yeah,
first tier is 24-Hour Fitness and Big Frog's second tier. The other sponsors are all grouped together. They include Cotton Patch Cafe, Cairo 512, Moments Enshrined Photography, Chicken Wang Kang on Facebook, and House of Bounce in Round Rock. Make sure you visit those sponsors, as they're responsible for bringing you your Capital City Bison football games.
We really appreciate our sponsors, and folks, if you get the chance, please go by and visit them and let them know you too appreciate them helping us bring these broadcasts to you on SHN Sports.
So we got 2nd down and 7 here as we open the fourth period. Capital City has the ball on the 16-yard line. Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation, takes a snap, hands off to the running back Wheeler straight ahead. He picks up about 3 yards down to, they're going to give him the 13-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 6 yards.
Dragons got some penetration, but one guy had a shot at him in the backfield, couldn't bring him down. Changes the dynamic of the play calling now. You're going from 5 yards needed for the first to almost 11 needed if he can make that tackle. So,
yeah, it's so important to make the first contact, the first tackle that you have. Carrasquillo takes the snap, hands off to the running back Smith. He cuts up right off a left end up over the 10. He breaks the tackle at the 5, and he gets a drive from his offensive lineman down to about the 2-yard line. So it'll be a first down. I thought he was down, and then I looked up, and they were still driving.
Yeah, he started getting some help from some of his linemen that were downfield blocking for him. He kind of got stood up about the 4-yard line, and linemen helped push him down a little bit closer. So bring your family with you.
It helps when you got a couple of 300-pounders pushing on behind you to help you along the way. And they have the ball now 1st and goal at about the 2-yard line, just outside the 2-yard line. And so the Bison with an opportunity here to extend their lead early fourth period. Big play, big series of downs here as the Bison were able to have a goal line stand earlier in the third period to prevent the Dragons from taking the lead.
Yeah, they just ejected a player for the Dragons. Now the coaches are out on the field.
You can't talk back to the referees or throw equipment around. That'll get you in trouble. I mean, it's the same rules as the NCAA. You can't celebrate during the play. You got to wait until the play's dead before you have any kind of celebration, and you have to be careful about what you say at any time. And
man, and the coaches have to carry the message. You're in a 1-point ball game in the fourth quarter. You're in this game. You haven't been able to put many points on the board, and you got a player who does that. Now it's 1st and goal at the 1.5-yard line.
Carrasquillo walks under center and takes a quick snap and a quarterback sneak, and he's in for the touchdown. Capital City extends their lead now to 13-6 here with a point-after attempt coming up shortly. And they'll likely bring their kicker out and add an extra point here. They may go for 2, though.
Yeah, 2 points, and it's a 2-score game.
Yeah, it's a very strategic. Well, they're going to go on ahead and kick it here. Number 23. We know him as John, the new kicker. He kicked the ball very well on the first extra point attempt. We'll see what he has here. The Dragons try to time it. It looks like there could have been a penalty called offsides, but they don't, and the extra point is blocked. And so the Bison will only have a 7-point lead here, and 7's better than 1, but it's still anybody's ball game right here.
Yeah, it's 1-score game still. And one of the DBs timed it just perfectly, was able to shoot the gap between the guard and the tackle on the special teams and got in there and blocked it.
You know, the offensive line, it's so important to be alert in every play. Because if you think, okay, we just scored, I just got to, slide down and cover my gap, and somebody comes in that gap faster than you're ready to get down into that gap, and then this is what happens.
Well, and you don't get to practice the special teams as much as you want to or need to practice special teams because you're trying to focus on all the minuscule stuff with the offensive line blocking and what their responsibilities are and all the other things that go on. So oftentimes you don't get the practice that you need on special teams, and it has shown several times here tonight with some of the events that have taken place with the special teams. Block punts, drop punts, missed snaps, and
is a strategy you see a lot of high school teams employ because they want to avoid a big return. And, covering kicks is one of the more difficult aspects of the game of football. So it's going to be first down. The ball is going to be marked at right. Or they're going to have them re-kick is what they're going to do. They'll back them up 5 and re-kick. So instead of taking the penalty and the yardage, the Dragons have decided they're going to force the Bison to re-kick. They'll move the ball to the 30-yard line where they will re-kick the ball. And if you're online and you've lost, there it is, the signal is back. We had a momentary loss of the video feed. It went Capital City Bison purple first and then went blank. So you at least had that. You knew it was a home team transition. 13:40 here left in the ball game. Good. John to kick off for the Bison. Looks over his team and he puts toe to leather, bounces at the 25 and is fielded at the 25, carried up over the 30, 35, and there's a flag down.
Going to be a block in the back, I think.
That kick returned by Linneberry, and we'll see what the penalty is. Likely would be an illegal block there on a kick return where the flag was thrown, and the referees are discussing it now. It's going to be a hold. And so they'll add 10 yards back or take 10 yards away from the Dragons, which will put the ball right around the 25-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. We have 13:40 left.
Get all your Capital City Bison gear up at our concession stand.
The referee, Donald Card, got pretty good arm on him because he threw that flag from the 10 almost to the 30.
Well, they put that little beanbag on the end of those flags, and if you're not careful, you can get hit in the face with those things.
You remember when the Cleveland Browns player got hit in the eye? Almost lost his eye.
Yeah, it affected his career.
Yeah, went right through his face mask and hit him in the eye.
Freak accident, but it happens, and those – so it's first down and 10 for Lafayette and the Dragons. He takes the snap, looks to his left, and throws an incompletion intended for number 7, Williams. And there's a injured player down in the backfield of the Dragons. And so we'll take a brief break, and we'll mention the sponsors of tonight's ball game as well as Capital City Bison football, and they include 24-hour fitness at 24hourfitness.com. Also, Big Frog Custom T-Shirt Company, the Round Rock location at 2051 Gaddis School Road in Round Rock. You can go online to www.bigfrog.com. Other sponsors include Cotton Patch Cafe at 1700 East Palm Valley Road, Suite 580 in Round Rock. Cairo 512 at 2681 Gaddis School Road, Suite 220 in Round Rock, or online at Cairo512.com. That's CRYO512.com. Moments Enshrine Photography at momentsenshrined.com. Chicken Wang Kang on Facebook. That's Wang and Kang with an A. And House of Bounce in Round Rock. Those are your sponsors. We have a 2nd down and 10 for the Dragons. And we have a flag pre-snap as there's too many men on the field. Number 32 in the huddle as it was broken, and that'll back up the Dragons here on 2nd down, another 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 15.
So talking to the coach, find out this defensive line's all Syntex high school players looking for a second chance to maybe make some noise at the college level. And pretty good defensive line.
Well, there's a lot of schools in the area looking for defensive linemen. We got some pressure on Lafayette, number 42, off the edge, came in unmolested. It's Morales with a sack, and it's another Bison sack tonight, and that pushes the ball all the way back inside the 10, right at the 10.
That pressure off the edge again. Morales has been able to do that a couple of times tonight.
Untouched.
Really just throwing the Dragons' offensive plans out the window.
So that'll make it 25 yards to convert here for the Dragons on 3rd down. Just want to just run the ball here and see what happens, and then maybe come out and punt and get rid of the ball as you're going backwards here.
Well, and their quarterback fell on that football whenever he went down. Had a little reaction to it, maybe knocked the breath out of him a little bit. So I'm not quite certain he's going to want to stand back there again on this down and maybe take another hit. He may be having a hard time.
He takes the snap, hands off the running back, and that was Martinez. Nothing there. Loss on the play is the defensive line from the Capital City Bisons in there quickly, led by David Durbin, number 43 on the edge. The linebacker getting back there as well. It's going to be 4th and forever for the Dragons, and you really don't know at this point. I mean, you almost got to punt it, obviously, but you know, you've had some rough times with special teams, and with your back against the goal line, this could go bad.
Well, you got 12 and a half minutes left in this game. Had much offensive production. Now it's 4th and Pflugerville for this first down, and there's not a whole lot of options.
They're going to punt it
for the
here.
Dragons right now.
Oh, and the snap almost goes over the punter's head. He's able to get it, and he punts it straight up. It bounces and is fielded at the 43 by number 28, and that's Drake Williams, and he didn't get much of a return, and there's a flag down as well. Number 17 on the stop, Devin Fox. The flag came in late.
Blocking the back.
So that'll back up Capital City if that's the call. But they'll have the ball nonetheless.
I think it's umpire Joe Nannis.
Yeah.
He's like 6'13".
It's Nannis.
Nannis?
Mm-hmm.
He's like 6'13".
Yeah.
He's enormous.
I met him in the parking lot. That's how we got their names. I saw him pregame, and, you know, he's got a very unique last name. I'll just say that. He's a big fella.
Nobody's going to say anything to him about his name.
Yeah, and he certainly got control even on a field of big players.
Yeah.
So
he may be
quite a presence.
He may be the tallest individual on that football field right now.
Real close.
And he's not skinny.
No.
He's a big guy. Not fat.
No.
He's just a big guy.
Yeah, you know, I talked to him for a few moments, and he just talked about how it's just great to be able to do football this time of year. And one of the things he said as I left is, anytime I get to do a football game, it's a good night.
Oh, yeah.
So he's enjoying the work as well. And, you know, you can see the enthusiasm from both of these teams. These penalties, they're bad penalties, and they come at poor times, but it shows their dedication and desire to win, both teams. You can cost your team, though, when you cross that line. So you got to keep that under control. And so it'll be 1st and 10 here with 11:55 remaining in tonight's ball game. Bison have the ball at midfield.
And the lead, 13-6.
They'd like to add to that right here on this drive. Carrasquillo, the quarterback, has 2 running backs, has a slot receiver to his left, a tight end on the right. Takes the snap. They hand off the slot receiver coming in motion, and the ball's on the ground and is recovered by the Bison, number 32, able to get on the ball, Anthony Nichols. And so that'll be 2nd down, loss of about 5 yards to make it 2nd and 15.
Was that Hall on that run? Tanique Hall? Yeah, when the receiver comes around with the ball.
I was 10 with the ball. That's Crump, Denzel Crump. 2nd down and 15. Same formation for the Bison here as Carrasquillo barks out the cadence, takes the snap, hands off to number 5, Alvin Smith, and he carries up to the original line of scrimmage right at midfield where it'll be 3rd down and 10. For the Bison, much more manageable than 3rd and 15. You'd like to have got a few more yards on that one. But you got 2 down territory here basically with the way the Bison defense has played tonight.
And that clock really becomes your friend if you can keep it running.
Yeah, you got to grind it out, and it is ticking right now. We're down to 11-10 in the game. 3rd down and 10 yards to go midfield. Carrasquillo with one running back in the backfield. He drops straight back. He's being flushed, and he gets sacked for a big sack. Miles, number 50, able to get him as he turned fully around from his facing towards the school, back towards the press box. And when he turned, he got tripped up, and it's going to be 4th and forever, and likely we'll see a punting team on this one.
21-yard loss on that play, and it was a situation where he couldn't get his feet under him to even throw the ball back to the line of scrimmage to save the yardage. The pursuit was on him so quickly.
There's a lot of pressure, and he's lucky to be able to hang on to the football and give him an opportunity to punt here. Carrasquillo is staying in at the quarterback position, but he's dropping back into a punt formation. He's got a big fullback there in front of him, Mr. Meshach. It's kind of hard to come up the middle with him there. Carrasquillo gets it and gets a nice punt. A lot of air under it. Turns a little bit, rolls for the Bison down to the 25 and beyond to the 23, where it's down by number 28, Drake Williams. So it will be Dragon football. Nice roll on the punt by Carrasquillo. You may have to just drop the punter altogether if he's going to punt like that.
On the Dragons' last punt, the deep man for the Bison kept that from happening because that ball had some momentum to it, and he picked it up in the air as it was starting a good roll. It would have been a good roll for the Dragons. He picked it up, took back, and the kick returner there made the mistake of letting that ball go, which I wouldn't want to be the one standing back there deciding.
That's a tough field there, and Carrasquillo got the ball to turn over right before it hit the ground, and it took a nice Bison roll as a result. 1st and 10 for the Dragons now. Lafayette in a shotgun formation, one running back. He hands to that running back who gets hit at the line of scrimmage, stacked up by that D-line, a whole herd of Bison led by number 98, Luna.
Referee Donald Carr threw another flag, typically a hold.
Yeah, that's typical hold area there, and it is going to be a hold against the Dragons. So it'll stay first down. They'll add 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Will likely be a 2nd and 20. Or 1st and 20, rather. Ball's going to be marked at the 14. And the 34 is what's needed for the first down for the Dragons. Clock moving at 9.5 minutes here in the 4th period. Dragons break the huddle. They're in a shotgun formation. Quarterback Lafayette has one running back in the backfield. Has a receiver coming in motion, which results in 3 receivers to the right of the formation. He moves his running back to the other side. That's Jareth Martinez. Takes the snap, looking to throw. Ball was tipped and then almost intercepted, intended for number 7, Drevian Williams. It's going to bring up 2nd down. That'll stop the clock with the incompletion at 9:05 left in the game.
Christian Levy, number 27, had his eyes on an interception there. That ball kind of fluttered a little bit out of the quarterback's hands. He just didn't have a good angle to get around that guy and pick the ball off. But
he was thinking pick 6 if he could get to it.
He was watching it.
That's the one that your mouth starts to salivate when you see it coming toward
Right.
you. Second
Couldn't get around.
2nd and 20, shotgun formation for the Dragons. Lafayette with one running back. Martinez in the backfield sends a receiver in motion from right to left, so he has trips on that left side. Takes a snap, drops back, flips it out to the left side. Pass is completed.
Oh, wow.
What a catch there by, who is that, number 7? Nope. That's number 8. No, 8's the quarterback, Lafayette. I didn't get that receiver. It's going to be a first down, though, at the 41 for the Dragons. And so they were down 20 to get that first down. They were able to convert. Lafayette takes the snap, fakes the running back, looks to his left. A lot of pressure. He flips it back the other way. Almost intercepted. He had a gift in his hand. David Owen, number 24, was thinking about running the ball back before he did any the actual catching of the pass.
Oh, he was taking off.
That's Decker Williams.
Yeah, Decker Williams.
With an interception that just fell out of his hands. Number 24. Good effort, but again, his eyes probably got as big as saucers there, and you got to catch it before you take off.
Linebacker in a wide receiver role.
They like I said, you get a pass coming at you like that, you start to salivate, thinking I'm going to take this back, and then you got to make sure you catch it.
Roberto Duran, stone hands.
2nd down. It's going to be a handoff to the running back, Martinez. He picks up a couple of yards, not much, about 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down now, and 8. We have a flag down, though. Let's see what that's going to be. Right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like it may go against the Bison. It is a personal foul against the Bison. It's a face mask, and that'll give a first down to the Dragons. And they're going to have it all the way at the 41-yard line of the Bison. And only up 7, you can ill afford to give up those kind of penalties.
Boy, the Dragons' best plays have come on penalties by the Bison. Got 8.5 minutes left in the game, 8:26 now, 8:25. And the only time they've been able to move the ball is whenever the Bison have made the mistakes they've made. Now that clock starts to worry the Bison a little bit if they can't shut this drive down.
1st and 10 for the Dragons. Lafayette takes the snap, looks to his left, flips it over the middle, is complete almost to number 7, Drevian Williams. And then as he was trying to maintain possession, he got lit up by number 15, Devonta Jenkins, who separated him from the ball to make sure that pass fell incomplete. 2nd down now.
Boy, big hit. That's why those receivers aren't really fond of those.
Coming over the middle you got to be a special guy to
man.
come across the middle. Those safeties, they come downhill fast and they bring the wood generally. And that's what we saw on that play. from Devonta Jenkins. And so 2nd down and 10 for the Dragons. Lafayette, the quarterback. He's got one running back in the backfield, drops back, and he's sacked. Delayed blitz coming up the middle. Meshach, he just came with all kinds of momentum, and Lafayette couldn't do anything except get swallowed up by the big defensive lineman.
Yeah, that's one of those, this is going to hurt you a lot more than it hurts me.
They gave Lafayette quite a bit of forward progress. They're going to mark the ball at the 47-yard line. Yeah, even though he got sacked on his end of the field, it's going to be 3rd and about 16 for the Dragons here. Big play here for the Bison defense coming up. Lafayette in a shotgun. He's got the one running back there with him, Chris Bolden. He fakes to Bolden, and the pocket collapses, and there with the sack is number 6, Jamaris Martin. And we got a player down. The ball's going to be marked right around the 49-yard line, and it's going to be 4th down and about 18. Nice sack there by Martin.
Big plays by the defense there to start shutting this drive down.
You know, the defense has had to come up big on several occasions for the Bison to hang on to this lead. They've led the entire game, but the Dragons have had their opportunities, but the Bison defense has stepped up. They have one goal line stand and several sacks and turnovers to kill drives tonight.
Right, and you know, we talking to the coaches before the game, that's where they really hang their hats is on that defense, and they've shown that tonight.
Well, you know, we talk about it from time to time, but defense will carry. There's a reason why, since I was a football fan starting in the mid-'70s, that the phrase defense wins championships has been one of the most prevalent quotes that come out of football, and it's true. You see it time and again. If you can play good defense and just manage the ball offensively and limit the mistakes, you will have success on the field. 4th down, and it looks like the Dragons are going to bring out a punt formation.
It's funny you mentioned that time frame and becoming a football fan, because whenever I saw that guy get lit up over the middle, I was thinking Steve Largent from the Seahawks back in the day. He was a master at that catch over the middle.
Yeah, it's not an easy route or catch. Akins, the punter, is fielded by the Bison number 28 rather, Williams, and he carries it up over the 25 to the 26 where he stopped, and it will be Bison football there, 1st and 10.
Well, I would suspect with 6:39 left in this game, you're going to see a lot of the ground game.
Well, and I believe the Bison, or the Dragons rather, have all 3 of their second-half timeouts, and so you'll likely see them use those probably in this series if there's any success on the ground by Capital City.
Yeah, if Capital City gets a first down, they're going to have to start burning those timeouts. They may not have to prior to that, but
you want to hang on to them until about the 4-minute mark if you can. If you can hold them here without burning them, that's what you want. Shotgun formation for the quarterback, Alexi Carrasquillo. He's got one running back in the backfield and a slot back, and he hands off to that running back going left to right, and he just grinds his feet forward and picks up about 3 yards.
They tried to get some pressure up the middle, but the center wasn't having any of that. Just leveled the I think they sent a safety up, try to get some pressure, and he went between the center and the left guard and wound up on his back.
That was Parks on the ball carrier there, Ahmad Parks. He picks up a couple of yards. They're going to give him up to the 28, so it's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Bison, and the clock is burning at 5:55 and counting. Bison taking a little bit of time in the huddle. They break. Carskio, the running back, the quarterback, has the running back Alvin Smith, number 5, in the backfield with him. You got a receiver on either side of the formation, double tight. They hand to Smith going right to left, rather. He carries up over the 30, breaks the tackle, gets real close to the first down. They're going to stop him right at the 35, which will bring up 3rd and 1.
If you're the Dragons, now is when your defense has to put those tent spikes in the ground and hold your ground and stop this drive.
Yeah, this is a big play here for both teams, as if the Bisons convert here, they can force the Dragons into using those timeouts. If they are unable to convert, they may have to punt the ball back.
Yeah, and if you got to burn all your timeouts on defense, you like to have one in your back pocket while you're on offense. That way the middle of the field's still open, but
it limits your ability to what you can do. And we're going to have a false start. Number 82 for the Bison. Uga, he jumps a little bit early, and so they'll back him up 5 yards. It'll make it 3rd down and 7 now for Capital City as they try to keep this drive alive. The box
and
says
the clock stops.
The box says 2nd down. Am I wrong on the down, Kelly?
No, it's 2nd.
I think it's 3rd.
It is 3rd?
Yeah, I think the box is
well,
wrong.
That penalty stops clock. Oh, they're running it.
He
now.
just wound it. Once they set it, depends on what happened the play before. So here we go, 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Ball at the 29-yard line. Carskio takes the snap, hands it to the running back, number 11. He gets out in the open field. He's at the 45, gets to midfield where he's ridden out of bounds. Nice run by Wheeler as he comes in relief of Alvin Smith and gets a big gain for a 1st down, and that'll keep the Bison drive alive here in the 4th period and will force the Central Texas Dragons to start using those timeouts. Once they set the chains, there's 4:26, and the clock is wound and counting there. Ball at the 48.
I think Wheeler recognized that a little too late that he was right there at the sideline. I think he was going to try to start going down, but that defender kept him up and drove him out of bounds.
Well, they stopped his progress before he went out of bounds, so they kept the clock rolling. It's at 4:09 now. Carskio in a shotgun with Smith in the backfield as the running back. The handoff goes to Smith, going left to right off of right guard. He picks up about 6. Nice gain, and you can see the offensive line starting to go to work here, Kelly.
Yeah, that running game has started to take its toll now. And this late in the game, that defensive line's having a hard time getting off their blocks and shutting down those running lanes. And the linebackers are having to pursue, but by the time they get there, they're already 4 or 5 yards up the field.
4th quarter is so vital in football games, and it's a really serious gut check for defensive linemen in this type of game situation.
Right.
2nd down and 5 now for the Bison. Carskio in a pistol formation with Smith in the backfield. They hand to Smith, but Miles comes shooting through and trips him up in the backfield for a loss of 1 or 2. It's going to bring up 3rd down now, 3rd and about 7.
I'm kind of surprised that the Dragons aren't using a timeout here to try to save some of that clock.
I'm surprised here on 3rd down that they didn't at least burn one of them. You're right, but
yeah.
they know that Capital City is, especially here at midfield with the way their defense is played, is likely going to use both downs here to try to get the 1st. So maybe they're saving it for 4th down if they can get a stop here. Otherwise, I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah,
I would have used it. 3rd down. Carskio in a shotgun formation. Smith in the backfield with him. Fakes to Smith. Drops back. Flips it over the middle. Receiver open, number 84, Desmond Hill. It just beyond his fingertips. That'll stop the clock and make it 4th down on that incompletion. So that's the issue with throwing the ball there.
Interesting.
Is if you don't complete it, the clock stops and you give your opponent some time.
Now there's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the receiver.
Against the Bison, huh?
Yep.
So Hill not happy with something, and he ends up getting a penalty called against him.
He was saying something to the DB back there, and the referee was right there and heard it, threw the flag. And you could tell he was jawing right in his ear, letting him know, I guess letting him know he got beat real bad is just.
Well, I didn't see it, but maybe there was a little bit of a tug on the jersey.
I was watching it. I actually watched Hill run his route, and when he ran the route, it was there. It was 6. But whenever he came back, he had something to say.
They told him he got
to
lucky.
The safety and let him know sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Well, this crew here is they're quick to throw that flag and keep control of this ball game, but it's going to be 4th and forever now after the 15-yard penalty for the Bison. They're going to have the ball at their own 39. Why are the chains moving?
I don't know.
They shouldn't have moved the chains.
Why are they saying it's first down?
Unless they're going to discuss it right now. The coaching staff's talking to the referee crew.
Boy, I'm confused.
Yeah, I think the crew is also confused. And now the box needs to stay where it's at.
It should be 4th down in Georgetown.
Yeah,
for the first down.
They're going to need to get to it looks like the 36-yard line for a first. And it is going to be 4th down. The ball's going to be at the 39.
So 4th and 25. Clock stopped. 2:30 left.
Looks like we got it straightened out now. 2.5 minutes to go. Bison trying to hang on to their lead here. They got a 7-point lead over the Central Texas Dragons. Carrasquillo had a pretty good punt. His last punt, his first of the game, and he's back deep to punt again. Snap rolls to him. He's able to scoop it and gets a nice boot. Fielded at the 20-yard line by number 32. He starts to his right, cuts back left, and straight up ahead, carries up to the 30 where he stopped. That's Bowser on the return, and he was stopped. I didn't get a number on that tackle. Did you? Was it 16? Number 34 on the tackle is Roosevelt Nolan.
29, Justin Daugherty came down and got absolutely smoked. Got back up and had a chance at the tackle, slowed the ball carrier down so the tackle could be made. That was a fantastic play.
Yeah, it just shows you the play's never dead. Even if you get knocked off your feet, you got to get back up and make a play.
He got blasted.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Dragons. They're going to try to make a comeback here with just over 2 minutes left in tonight's ball game. Lafayette in a shotgun formation. He's hit as he releases. The pass is intercepted. That is number 21 with the interception, Ken Blue. And the Bison have the ball back, and we have an injured player down. But that should do it if they're able to get at least one first down, and that's going to be the key.
Yeah, one first down will do it.
Because even with timeouts, if they can manage a first down, they should be able to grind out the remainder of this clock and come out of here 3-0.
That quarterback for the Dragons is going to need some Advil.
Yeah, he took a shot from Luna.
Oh, man. That kid's been on the carpet a lot tonight.
Yeah, Jonathan Luna came in and it hit him right when he was releasing the pass.
I tell you what, though, you can't say that kid's not tough, man. He has taken some absolute shots tonight and gotten up and kept trying to lead his Dragons.
You know, quarterbacks kind of get a bad rap as being a prima donna, and they're some of the toughest kids on a football field. Believe it. If you've ever seen a guy stand tall in the pocket and deliver a strike right before he gets lit up, then you know that's a tough kid right there.
Oh, man.
And we've seen it from both quarterbacks tonight as they've taken some big shots from the defensive lines of both of these ball clubs. And so the Bison now with possession in Dragon territory at the 32.
2:05 left in the game. One first down will seal this deal.
Yeah, and regardless of what happens, I'm running the ball every play. I'm making them use their timeouts. I'm not going to put it in the air, but you got to make sure you get that exchange if that's what you do.
Right.
Because we've seen them put the ball on the ground a couple of times in the quarterback to running back handoff. Carrasquillo hands off to 0. That's going to be Chris Evans. He carries to the right and gets dropped for a loss. And there's the first timeout burned by the Syntex Dragons.
Yeah, and this is the point where the coaching staff from the Dragons is saying if you can drive him out of bounds, drive him out of bounds. And the coaching staff of the Bison are saying,
get down.
Hold on to the football, stay in bounds.
Get on the ground if you're going to get tackled.
Right.
So second down and about 17, maybe 16. The ball's going to be at the 38. Capital City has kept their offense out on the field, at least most of their offense, in the huddle because they know they're going to be grinding the ball out here. The Dragons are on their sideline scheming on how they can get the ball back and try to see if they can tie this ball game up.
Strip the ball.
Well, you know they're going to be going for any opportunity that they can to get a hold of that football.
No doubt.
So Carrasquillo in a shotgun formation here. Second down, takes a snap, hands off to Smith, going right to left. He cuts up at the 35, spins there at the 32, cuts up, takes a shot, drives up past the 30 to the 28. Nice run by Alvin Smith. It's going to be third down now. There is a timeout on the field as the Dragons forced to use their next timeout. And there on the stop, Ethan Dre along with Mike Bowser. It's going to be third down and about 7 here, as that was about a 10-yard gain for Smith.
Boy, I was a little nervous on that run. He's swinging that ball out.
It gets out there pretty wide. You got to tuck it away, and that's one of those things that as a running back, sometimes you get into bad habits.
Yeah.
And that's where practice is key. You got to keep that ball high and tight.
Well, you got a minute 42 left in the game, and he wants to make something happen. But right now is the time where ball safety, ball security,
possession of that football
absolutely
is
crucial, man. You got to tuck that thing, get that thing tucked under your elbow and locked in there, and protect it with your body. 2 hands on the football. I know he wants to score.
Yeah, there've been too many fumbles tonight, and the last thing you want is one to bounce the wrong way into the wrong guy's hands.
Scoop and score right now.
It's not good.
Devastating. So job number 1, hang on to the football. Protect
Third down
the football.
now. Shotgun formation for Carrasquillo. He's got the running back Smith in the backfield with him. He takes the snap and hands to Smith, going right to left, and he's stacked up around the line of scrimmage. Forward progress stopped in bounds, so it'll bring up fourth down. And there is a timeout called. It'll be their final timeout, that of the Dragons. And that's where, you at least force them to use all of those timeouts that they can't use against you offensively. But it will be fourth down for Capital City, so they'll have one more opportunity to convert here with a minute and a half. If they can get that first down, it's ball game. But there's a little distance between the line of scrimmage and that first down marker. So at the very least, as we've said, recently, hang on to the football more than anything. You don't want to put it on the ground and give a guy an opportunity to make a play.
Yeah, and here if you punt the ball, again, we've seen the issues on special teams tonight with both teams.
It's been rough, and the Bison have taken advantage of most of the miscues on special teams.
As conservative as I would be right now, I'd have him under center.
Yeah, I know. But even, if you're not accustomed to taking that snap under center on a regular basis, that can also cost you as well.
Right.
So,
folks, we want to remind you this is the Crossroads Amateur Football League, CRAFL. You can find them at crafl.com. And this is guys looking for an opportunity to play a little bit of football. So it's fun to watch, good product.
And it's always great to have football in spring.
Right.
Shotgun formation here for Carskeel on 4th and 10. He takes the snap, drops back, trying to burn clock before he releases the pass downfield. Almost caught, intended for Meshach, a little bit too tall, and that'll change possession on downs to the Dragons. They have 1:23 left on the clock to try to do something here. No timeouts. We'll see what they can do here as we wind down the final moments of tonight's ball game. The Capital City Bison looking to hang on and extend their record to 3-0, and the Dragons are at 1-1, looking to try to knot up the record with Capital City by getting a win here on the road. Capital City hosting here at Stony Point High School in Round Rock tonight.
And we also want to recognize Mickey Holden on our camera tonight. Once we got past the technical difficulties, Mickey's done a great job on the camera out there. Thank you, Mickey.
Always fantastic job by Miss Holden. Pass incomplete. Oh, they're going to say it might have been a lateral there, intended for number 7 Williams. He's able to tip it. Looked like it was a forward pass to me. Should be incomplete, but they've stopped the clock with 1:15, so that is incomplete.
Yeah, they're
second
calling.
down. Big plays here late. You know, you don't lose any time there, but you lose that down.
Right.
If you're the Dragons, so it's 2nd and 10. You want to at least get some positive yardage out of the play. You're way down on your end of the field. You need a touchdown here to try to tie the ball game. If not, go for 2 and try to win it. Minute 15 remaining. Shotgun formation. Lafitte takes the snap, drops straight back, flips it down the right sideline. Almost a good over-the-shoulder catch there by number 45.
Such a hard pass to catch.
Stephen Allen, that almost has to land right in the breadbasket to make that an easy catch. That'll stop the clock there on the incompletion, bring up 3rd down, minute 10 left in tonight's ball game. And so 2 plays really, and the game's over if the Dragons can't do anything with it, at least convert a 1st down in the next couple of plays. Ball still marked at the 32-yard line. The defensive line has spent most of their evening in the backfield of the Dragons. Lafayette in the backfield, empty set, has 3 receivers to the left of the formation, 2 to the right. Takes the snap, looks left, flips it down the left sideline. We've got both players catch the ball. It's going to be a completion, for the Dragons at the 45-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10.
Clock stops. 10 seconds, 10.3 seconds.
Oh, that's a minute 3.
Oh, it was a minute 3?
Yeah,
I'm
minute
sorry.
3.
There's a tree blocking my
time.
view.
Yeah, it's
tree
1st
blocking
and
my
10.
view of the clock. Sorry, folks.
The ball at the 45. The clock has been wound.
58.
Lafayette in an empty set has 3 receivers to the left of the formation, 2 to the right. Obviously, these are passing downs. Lafayette drops back, throws to the left on the sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, I think that receiver was supposed to cut that route out to the sideline. Nothing in the middle of the field, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's one of those reads, based on the formation. If the corner is giving you the, he's lining up to your inside, you need to cut that outside and pass on the sideline. If he's playing you outside, then you cut inside. Obviously, at least Lafayette thought he was playing him inside, threw it to the outside, no one there, out of bounds. That'll stop the clock, though. 2nd down and 10, ball at the Bison 45-yard line. They're hanging on to a 13-6 lead here in Round Rock, Texas at Stony Point High School. Lafayette, shotgun formation, has 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right of the formation. Takes the snap, drops straight back, tucks the ball, breaks a tackle, flips it. It's intercepted by number 16. He's at the 45, 40, midfield, 40, 40, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Bison. Emmanuel Daniels steps in front of that pass and takes it back 65 yards for a touchdown. There is a flag at the 10-yard line, however.
Yeah, celebration.
Post-play, likely a celebration penalty.
No other laundry on the field.
We'll see what the call is here before we add the points to the scoreboard, but that should put the game into the win column for the Bison. We'll see here and make sure that those points are added to the scoreboard. I saw the touchdown signal go up.
Yeah, it did. And, again, the referee, Donald Carr, threw the flag. I think he was hearing something behind him from the players who were celebrating towards the Dragon side of the field. And I don't think he liked it.
Big play by Daniels. He kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, I was expecting him to just hit the turf and let's run the clock.
He wanted the
get out of
touchdown.
here, but he saw a lot more green in front of him, so he was headed to the house.
That'll make the score 19-6.
I wish we had the referee mic'd up so we could know.
It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It does.
Even especially when they don't signal as prominently as you would like. So that is going to be a touchdown. And the penalty will probably be assessed on the kickoff. So it's 19-6 is your score, point after attempt coming up.
It actually may be against the Dragons.
It is possibly against the Dragons, but
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to put it on. They're going to assess it on the kickoff. Looks like, and so John, number 23, we'll figure out his last name before next week, as long as he stays on the roster.
John the kicker.
John the kicker, ready to add another point here to the Bison total. Snap, hold, kick is up and good. It is now 20-6, and the Bison are going to pull this one out. Late in the fourth quarter, there's about 28.9 seconds left on the clock, and so, unless the Dragons have a 14-point play that they can pull out, Bison are going to come out of this one with a win tonight, and relying heavily on their defense and special teams to do it.
Right. That defense has some speed. They've got a front that's pretty good stinking defensive line.
And it was mentioned earlier that those 3 defensive linemen, the primary defensive linemen, are all trying to continue their career at a collegiate level, and so they're continuing to hone their skills here in the CRAFL while they seek for that scholarship opportunity. Whether it be at a community college first. There's a lot of good community colleges here in the state that feed big D1 schools. So you can think of Blinn is one of the ones that pops out right off the bat.
I was talking to a couple of the players at halftime, and man, they're just having fun playing football.
But it's one of those things. It's hard. Football's hard to give up.
Yeah,
it is so much fun to play and coach. John the kicker kicks off. It's fielded at the 40-yard line. Nice catch there by number 32 of the Dragons, and he has a decent return up to the 27-yard line. Mike Bowser, I'm going to take this opportunity while they get their offense on the field to mention the sponsors one last time. 24-Hour Fitness at 24hourfitness.com. That's 24HOURFITNES.com. Big Frog Custom T-Shirt Company in Round Rock at 2051 Gaddis School Road or bigfrog.com. Cotton Patch Cafe, 700 East Palm Valley Boulevard, Suite 580 in Round Rock. Cairo 512 at Cairo512.com. Moments Enshrined Photography at momentsenshrined.com. Chicken Wang Kang on Facebook. And House of Bounce in Round Rock. Those are your sponsors of Bison football. Lafayette takes the snap here on first down, airs it down the sideline, tipped away by the defender. Looked like that's number 27, Christian Levy, knocking it out. We have a personal foul against the Bison for roughing the passer, and that'll give a first down to the Dragons, and they'll move the ball up a little bit here.
Yeah, the defender shoved him to the ground after the ball was gone. And
it's so tempting when you work so hard to get through the defense or the lineman, and then you get there and the ball's gone. You just still want to hit the guy.
Yeah, 13.7 seconds left.
You just can't really do it, you know. I mean, you just in a closer ball game, that could be the difference. So you gotta pull up and take your opportunity when it's a legitimate opportunity. Clock is ready to go here with 13 seconds. Shotgun formation. Lafayette with one running back in the backfield, has two receivers on either side of the formation. Moves the running back into the slot on the left, takes the snap, drops back, flips it down the left sideline, out of reach of anyone. Second down now. And we are down to 8.8 seconds left in tonight's ball game. Coach, who are y'all playing next? Austin Vipers, is that here or is that on the road? Yeah, what location do you know? So look for that. The Bison take on the Austin Vipers. We have a bye week this coming weekend and then the Austin Vipers. So they'll give them a little bit of opportunity to work on the special teams there, maybe some fumble drills.
Yeah, both these teams got to hang on the football.
It's hard, you know, especially when you're in the zone of carrying the ball and you're worried about finding the opening. But you got to protect that ball first. Second down and 10.
8.8 left.
Lafayette looks over the defense, moves his running back, takes the snap, drops straight back. Pass is intercepted at the 5. He's at the 20, 30, 40. He's going to take it all the way. He's at the 40. That's the buzzer. 40. He gets a block. 30, 20, 10, 5. And that's going to be a touchdown to close the ball game for Drake Williams. That is a 95-yard interception return to close out tonight's ball game. That'll make the score 26-6. And they just want to separate all of the players here.
Let's call it a night.
Well, it is a ball game, and it's going to be a 3-0 record for your Capital City Bison. There is a flag down. We'll see how that goes because you can't end a game with a defensive penalty, but if it's against the offense, you can. And if it's after the play, I'm not sure how that works out. And they're discussing it now. They clear the field of both teams. The Dragon coaching is not very happy. You know, when Joe Nanus walked up to him to hear what he was saying, the coach decided he didn't want to yell at him anymore. Yeah. That's where being 6'9" makes a big difference.
Well, did the touchdown count?
I'm counting it on the scoreboard here, 26-6.
Yep.
And that is your ball game, ladies and gentlemen. The Bison 3-0 as they continue play here in CRAFL football. And great job by the Bison tonight, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Might be one of the better defensive lines I've seen in a while in games I covered all the way.
They got some size up front, some speed. They're able to get pressure on the quarterback off the corners. So that defense will win some games for them this year too.
Well, and as we mentioned, there's a bye week next week for the Bison, and then they're taking on the Austin Vipers after that. I want to thank Mickey Holden for her work on the camera, Kelly DeVoll for being here for color. Kelly, thanks for coming out.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Want to thank Rob Hipp and SHN Sports for the opportunity for me to call the game. We apologize for the video feed issues early. We hope you tuned in and got to see the last 3 1/4 games. We want to also remember the Deacon Gilmore family. Coach Gilmore tragically lost in an accident last week, and the Bison.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and this whole Bison family. So, folks,
if you want to help, reach out to the head coach of the Bison organization, and someone can assist you in helping out Coach Gilmore's family. But thank you for tuning in tonight. SHN Sports, the Bison over the Syntex Dragons, 26-6 in CRAFL football. Tune in next time to SHN Sports for your Bison football game.
Good night, folks.
Good night.